That's followed by the T-Wolves and Nuggets. The defending champs trail 2-0 to the T-Wolves. The tip is set for 8:30. In Major League Baseball, the Texas Rangers return to action today after a day off as they are in Colorado to open a series with the Rockies. First pitch set for 7:40. You can catch the game at ESPN 1250 starting at 7. The Astros avoided the sweep in New York with a 4-3 win over the Yankees. They open a series in Detroit this afternoon at 5:40. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Yeah, baby! Good morning to you, San Antonio, Texas. This is the Morning Huddle. I think it's the last day we can call it the brand spanking new Morning Huddle. Week 1 will be in the books for us.
Are we going to keep track of show number? Should we, like, this is show 5?
Yeah, you got a ticker in there that you can.
Want to have a ticker?
Yeah, we should
Maybe
do that.
We should have had it on like one of our. If you're watching our feed on YouTube, which you should be, maybe like show number 5, 6, and we'll just keep adding on.
Let's just take one of these windows and put like
some lipstick or a grease pen or something
like that. Pen and just mark it every day, and we'll figure it all out. Yeah, show number 5. Look at us.
That's nearly 20 hours of radio. You and me. We're past 20 hours. I mean, considering what we've done. We're well over that.
Yeah. And that will continue also as we will be at Tri-County Meat Market.
Now, this is one, if you haven't been out to see us yet this week, this is one you want to come to.
I think so.
Yeah. There'll be free meats involved. There will be hot fires in the parking lot, discounted and fine meats in the internal part, rubs to be had, and I'm not sure who'll be rubbing what. But I assure you, meat will be rubbed. It's going to be a good day. Tri-County is always a lot of fun.
Well, I was looking forward to this. I've never been to Tri-County Meat Market, but everyone says that this is going to be a destination for me.
It's a meat temple.
I'm pumped. Cannot wait to get in there. Now, yesterday on the program, we talked about what Rob was going to do last night. He was going to go to the Hall of Fame.
San Antonio Sports Foundation and Hall of Fame. Streety, great in history. One of those that went in this week. He was the only one I voted for that went in. Not that the others weren't worthy. I just didn't know who they were.
Okay. That means they weren't worthy.
Well, no, there's a lot. I'm not. There's some historical folks that deserve the credit that they're finally getting.
Okay. If you say so. But Rob, listen, here's what Rob said. He said, how many people did you vote for?
It's a pretty long list.
No, but I like what your ballot. How many were on it?
I had 5. I think.
Okay, you're allowed to submit 5.
Well, it's a long list, and you kind of 1, 2, 3 them. 1, 2, 3 rank and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So I think at the end, after all that, there were 5 that were, in my mind, worthy. And Coach Streety was certainly one of those.
And how many got inducted?
For my votes, Coach Streety and one other.
Okay. So Rob said, listen, I took a lot of time in this voting. You guys put in a bunch of scrubs that I've never even heard of.
Well,
and he said, I'm not even going to go to this event, honestly, unless you fix it, I'm not going. And they said, Rob, the decision's been made. The plaques have been made. They've been carved. The busts, the jackets have been fitted.
It's a ceremonial Wayubera.
And
gold Wayubera.
Is it really?
No, I wish it was.
Man, that'd be so nice.
That should have been right.
And Rob said, I don't think I'm going to go this year. And they said, Rob, we're begging you. And listen, there are a lot of guys in this market that I've learned. I've been here over a week now, so I'm pretty much
yeah. And you are actually.
I'm plugged in. There was a lot of people who had said, like, Rob he's the guy here at this station.
Oh yeah.
There are people who will try to tell you that Minix is the guy, but the truth is Rob is the guy.
Oh yeah.
And they said, and Rob said, listen, Minix is going to go and represent the station.
He did. And as he often does.
And they said, but his shirt is 3 sizes too big.
Give the man a break. Yesterday, you ripped the man up. And yes, his shirt was too big because he's lost some weight. I mean, that's like when you lose the weight that you had, it's kind of like a trophy when you wear a big ass baggy
How
thing.
long ago did he lose that weight?
This is very recent. Now he lost the big weight, and then his daughter went off to school and didn't have the walking buddy and all that, and he didn't gain all of it, but he, I mean, as we do, kind of expand a little bit, and now I bet he's down 30 pounds since Super Bowl. So yeah, and the thing about Minix is that is such an achievement. What you saw. You know how long since I've been around him, I couldn't take him out. His poor wife would just be like,
he's proud that he doesn't own a tie.
He is. And so, we'd go meet with people like Red McCombs, and we'd have meetings and with Jerry and all this. And he'd show up and like, dude, look at you. Come on, bro. You can't live the sports writer look. You gotta be a respectable looking dude.
There's some times when you've got
to slick up.
There's times in life where you've got to be able to wear a suit, and he's just like, no, I don't do that.
That's just not his gig. And to see him there and to have a sport coat, man, that's taking the training wheels off.
Well, and he was like, well, I'm gonna tuck the shirt in and wear a sport coat. No one will even be able to tell it's that big. I mean, this shirt was like 4 sizes too big. So if he tucked it in, it would look like he's wearing a diaper.
He could have put a belt around it.
Like something. I mean, it was it was too much. But he went. You didn't.
I did not. I cooked hamburgers over my grill, and
it pissed your wife off.
Oh, well, see, my wife didn't realize the full gravity of what I'd been talking about, because she assumed. See, there's a couple of galas. There's the Tucks and Tinnies, which is a Spurs thing, and then there's the San Antonio Sports Foundation, which is essentially same idea. But different things, kind of. She thought it was one thing, and it was the other. Okay. And one thing she didn't want to go, and this one was, it's a fabulous night. It is. I knew what I was giving up, but I was tired, and I didn't want to do it. And I've also got to cook today. While Tri-County, we're going to be out there. I'm using their meat. I'm cooking for like 26 people tonight.
Man.
So that was one of the reasons I decided I eat in an evening. But I got racks of ribs to prep and tenderloins to go. So I'm in trouble. She was kind of bitching around last night.
What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna offer her the finest lovemaking any man. I don't know. It's Mother's Day. I'll try to make up it with a.
Do you have a plan for that for Mother's Day?
I've already got the brunch res. We're good. We're good on Sunday.
Okay. Are there things that she's looking for? Is she a mimosa gal? What is she? Okay.
I plan on getting her drunk.
Okay. And then
she plans on me getting her drunk,
and then making love. And
that's the Sunday brunch thing. Maybe things will work out.
Yeah,
but
I think what Mother's Day, what wives don't want on Mother's Day is for you to try to have sex.
Oh,
with
I know. So
I know at least mine doesn't.
The very last thing on her list is, what I'm getting you for Mother's Day, baby.
Yeah, and mine's like over 1,000 miles away. So if my wife has sex on Mother's Day, it's gonna be with someone else.
Or something. So yeah,
she might be interested in that.
Maybe. And more power to them,
I'm not here to judge her decisions.
We all got our own issues.
Not here to judge her
decisions. Door lock.
Yeah.
So we take care of our own things. But it'll be all, like any mother just wants the comfort and ongoing with their kids.
Or do the kids have something planned?
They better. They're of the age now. I take no responsibility.
Let it fly.
If you suffer the wrath, it's your fault. I mean, you're over 18.
Yeah. I mean, mine, I texted them and I was like, hey, what are you guys doing?
And you need to at that age.
Yeah.
Because they're idiots at that age.
They said, I don't know. I guess whatever she wants.
Can I have some money?
So I have some things being shipped to the house.
Is your wife, does she like flowers?
I think she likes flowers. I don't know that she likes, my wife is very low maintenance.
Yeah, mine is too.
Which I love about her. God bless her.
She wouldn't have married me if she wasn't. You know what I mean?
So she's not she doesn't want to spend a bunch of money on shoes and purses and stuff. But I think she does like to have flowers around the house. Like she doesn't even like them from like a romantic standpoint. She just likes to have flowers in the house. Yeah. She thinks they look nice.
My wife, when I send her flowers, like if it's out of the blue, she's like, what have you done? She immediately gets like, what? So if that's her thought process, I only do it on the high holidays. It's not a random thing because I don't want to have to try to explain myself. Like, what have you done, Rob?
But then when you do something wrong,
I
I mean,
hide it as long as
are
possible.
flowers enough to overcome
no,
it?
it's like I
That's
said,
problem.
the flowers are a trigger point. It's like, okay,
Like,
do we need to talk?
if you're giving your wife flowers to fix something, either there's one of two things that could be in play. If you think you're giving flowers to fix something, either flowers aren't enough to fix what you think it is, or you're fixing something that probably doesn't need to be fixed.
And the thing
She'd
is,
get over it.
I don't think I've ever done anything that required flowers for fixing.
Oh,
you know what I mean? I don't know why she got the
perfect
guilty
husband.
conscience. Well, no, I would never do that. You know what I mean? If I'm in trouble, I know flowers ain't going to be enough.
Okay.
So I would never.
It's like, babe, I got another lady pregnant.
Yeah,
here's some roses.
Here's some roses. No,
sorry.
No, I would never even attempt something like that. So I don't know why she ever got suspicious of any kind of, nice gesture, but it has happened. Like, okay, why did you send these?
I bought a boat. Here's some flowers. Sorry.
Have you ever done anything like that? Like showed up with a boat or a car?
No,
I did. I
Did you
bought
really?
a car one time without telling her, and man, yeah, there was hell to pay with that.
Just flowers, right?
That's
all you got to do.
I should have learned my
Here's
lesson.
some daisies.
Let's go for a ride.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't drive standard? Oh, sorry about that. Damn it. Yeah, that car lasted about 6 months.
Yeah. What kind of car was it?
It was a, I'm embarrassed to say, it was a Triumph.
A Triumph?
A British car called, it was a Triumph.
I thought those were motorcycles.
No, they made a little convertible back in the late 70s, early 80s.
Oh, this was like a midlife crisis purchase.
No, it was a guy I knew that needed some money.
Okay.
And I gave him money.
And you're like, I got money.
And well, he was a buddy. And it was coming back. It was an investment, but he needed it. And in the time being, as kind of collateral, I took this Triumph TR7, which was a little tiny go-kart.
Could you fit in it? You're a big man.
Yeah, barely. That was one of the reasons, but it was a piece of crap. It was a cool looking little car. There might be 100 of them left in the world.
What's your dream car? If you could have any car.
Oh man, I'm a car guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I wouldn't go buy the Bugattis or anything like that.
No.
But I would take the top line Mercedes.
Okay.
The AMG'd up 500 convertible.
You know what I want? And I had this once. It's rare that you find the time in your life where you can buy your dream car.
Right. My
dream car was always a 1969 Cadillac DeVille convertible.
Sweet, the land yacht.
Yeah, I mean, I bought one.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, I was working offshore on a rig. I was single. I was making more money than I knew what to do with. So I was like, you know what? All the guys, everybody else I worked with was buying the
pickup truck.
Yeah. The Chevrolets.
Mm-hmm.
It was a Z71. Is that what I
Probably.
think? Yeah. And I was like, no, I don't want that. I want this. And I had a turquoise with white interior Cadillac DeVille convertible. And one time I was headed offshore and I parked my Cadillac at the heliport and there was a hurricane.
Did you ever see her again?
I did. And when I got back to shore, the convertible top was well down the road.
At least you found her.
It wasn't usable anymore. And my car was an aquarium. There were literally fish inside my car. That's not funny. Well, Vic, that's not funny at all.
Especially a 69. Did you get the value out of it that you thought it was worth from your insurance company?
No.
Yeah. I had a 65 Thunderbird the same way.
I don't think you can.
Yeah. Like that hurts because you can't replace those.
You can't. What am I going to do? Just go to the dealership and get another one?
No.
Like Gap Insurance? Come on. All right. We got to hit a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the Cavs and the Celtics, the series that we all assumed was going to be a walkover for the Celtics. There's some concern now about, and I don't know if it's real concern that like the Cavs could win the series.
Celtic on a Celtic.
But boy, Jason Tatum just doesn't feel very champion-y to me. We'll talk about that. It's the Morning Huddle, 94.1, San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 FM.
Do you have unfiled tax returns or being threatened by the IRS that your wages are about to be garnished or bank accounts are going to be levied? You need an ally. Allies Tax Relief has professionals ready to fight for you. Their enrolled agents, tax attorneys, and CPAs have saved millions of dollars for taxpayers just like you. They won't just resolve your tax problems, they'll most importantly protect your wages, bank accounts, and all your assets from being taken by the IRS. Call for a free consultation. 800-230-5174. 800-230-5174 or go to alliestaxrelief.com.
The Golf Club of Texas has some of the best course conditions with the friendliest staff. The golf is great. They have lighted driving range and practice area. While it feels like a country club, it's not a private club. It's open to the public, so bring the family into the Tin Cup Bar, the nicest sit-down restaurant in that area of San Antonio, specializing in Texas food, wine, and spirits. For golf or dinner, go to the Golf Club of Texas off Highway 90, online at golfclubtexas.com. The Golf Club of Texas, the friendliest golf course in Texas.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
The Angie's List you know and trust is now Angie, and we're so much more than just a list. We still connect you with top local pros and show you ratings and reviews, but now we also let you compare upfront prices on hundreds of projects and book a service instantly. We can even handle the rest of your project from start to finish. So remember, Angie's List is now Angie, and we're here to get your job done right. Get started at Angie.com. That's ANGI, or download the app today.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Hi, everybody. Scott Innes here. For 25 years, I've been voicing lovable cartoon dogs like Scooby-Doo, Astro. Hey, I love puppies and dogs. And now I get to help pets that need a voice to save their lives. That's where the Puppy Food Bank comes in. The Puppy Food Bank helps pet rescue organizations so they can feed puppies. For just $11 a month, you can save a pet's life. Go to puppyfoodbank.org now and donate, and they'll send you a nice gift. Puppy Food Bank is proudly supported by Thomas J. Henry.
Hi, my name's Jason Thompson. I've lived in San Antonio for more than 50 years. Went to grade school, high school, and graduated from law school right here. San Antonians have trusted me as their attorney after serious injury and fatality collisions since 1994. My website is alawyer4us.com. Why a lawyer for us? Well, after several years of practice, I watched as insurance companies created their own law firms solely to defend against auto claims. Today, there are very few insurance companies that do not have their own captive law firm filled with attorneys whose job is to minimize what the insurance company has to pay on an auto claim. If you or a family member is injured in a traffic collision, you will need your own attorney. Just remember alawyer4us.com. For many lawyers you see on billboards, your case will be handled by a non-lawyer or a staff lawyer. If you call me, Jason Thompson, I will be the lawyer you speak with. The initial consultation is always free. If you or a family member needs an experienced attorney you can trust, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 900-0400. That's 210-900-0400 or alawyer4us.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
You're locked on The Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's showtime!
Hey there. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1, San Antonio's Sports Star. My name is A.J. Hoffman. Across the table from me, Robert Thompson. You've known him for a long, long time, and he is guiding me into this San Antonian life. And
two rules of thumb. Yep. One, San Antonio was laid out by a blind Jesuit monk on a drunk jackass. But you're from Houston. You know what that's like.
Yeah.
And we'll give you how the way San Antonians give you directions is we give you the directions from where the landmarks are where things used to be.
What do you mean?
We'll tell you, like, you're going to get on 410, and I want you to exit right where Wonderland Mall used to be.
Oh,
that's the kind of directions we're going to give.
That's not going to work.
Yeah,
for me.
That's how you're going to get.
That's not going to work.
Yeah, it doesn't help anybody.
Hey, are we on the stream? What'd you do? We're good? All right.
There we go.
There we go.
All
right. I just had to wake him up in there.
Well, there's a lot of buttons.
He's one man today.
It's a check ride.
Yeah.
He's soloing.
So Vic's by himself. No Edwin today. Edwin's just lazy. He's not willing to work 7 days a week.
Should we call him? No, that wouldn't be right.
Call him and say, like, hey, man, we thought maybe you...
Are you running late?
Are you wanting to be here today or not? Are you on the team?
Are you in the taco line?
Everybody else is here. Where are you at? But he's like, I got to work a 12-hour day on Saturday. Oh, all right.
Yeah, he's a soldier.
Yeah, it's just a little loyalty would be nice from our soldiers, right? Like,
I think he's loyal.
Is he?
He's trustworthy and loyal. Like
there's a show today.
Spaniel.
There's a show today, Rob. Is he here?
He is, but
no,
this is more about the.
He's not.
This is about Vic expanding and filling the studio with his own particular idiom.
Okay. Well, all I'm going to say is, on Monday I'm going to let Edwin know, like, that's strike one.
I think so.
Like, you miss a show, that's strike one. All right, strike one for the Boston Celtics.
The thing is, it's not strike one. It's here we go again.
Well, it's strike one in this series against the Cavs.
Didn't you feel like, how many years in a row have we seen this?
It's a possibility that this is just not a team that's going to win a title, and they may go down as one of the better regular season dynasties in NBA history that just is never going to win. I've talked about this a lot this week. I think there's certain guys who have that it factor, who are hungry, who you're just not going to deny them. Jalen Brunson seems like that guy right now. Like, he seems like a guy who, and they're all going to win because it's impossible for them all to win. But he is either going to win or you're going to have to stab him with a shovel. Like, something, you've got to stop him somehow. He's going to keep coming. Jason Tatum gives me the vibe of a guy who, if things aren't going really well for him, he'll just be like, well, they'll probably go better tomorrow. Game 3 will be better. And I don't know if guys like that are really built to win long term. Jason Tatum feels like typical Duke guy. And what he's saying in the press conferences after these games, what he's doing on the floor in the fourth quarter of these games, it feels very, I get lackadaisical. Is that the word? I don't know what it is. I don't, but it doesn't feel like what you're getting from Anthony Edwards, where it, like, if you said, Anthony Edwards, will you kill a cousin to win an NBA title? He'd be like, that cousin is dead yesterday. And Jason Tatum's like, would you step on a spider to win a title? And he's like, what kind of spider? Like, you know what I mean? It just doesn't seem like he's got that instinct in him that it takes to be the big dog.
Well, there's some of that. I'll give you. And there was a time in the third quarter last night. They're down by 6 or 8 points, and Derek White had just hit a layup or a mid-level shot, and they played a little bit of defense, and they had a chance to start cutting into the lead. And Cleveland was in a bit of a lull. They get the ball up to Tatum. It's a 1-on-3, not a fast break, but kind of a slow speed break. And if a defender made a mistake, I think there might have been an opportunity for a bucket, but they didn't. And Tatum dribbled around. The Cleveland set up on their defense, let the other guy get down. He dribbles in the paint, backs his guy up, does a little cross around, and then a fadeaway jumper with two dudes standing beside him, nobody under the paint. That, to me, was Jason Tatum. That was his way of trying to insert himself into the game and try to help his team, was to take a fadeaway jumper after dribbling the ball for 7 seconds. It's that self-important dukedom. And I don't think that was really the problem. They missed, and I hate to say it, they missed Porzingis. The unicorn, they need that cat. They gave up 60 points in the paint. Evan Mobley looked like an all-star. I said when they picked Porzingis up that when they lose, it'll be because of him. I didn't think it would be because of his absence.
It's funny you say like the taking the fadeaways, because that's what we've seen Jalen Brunson do this, like these whole playoffs. He's just making them.
Oh, by far. But that's Tatum. Brunson's taking the appropriate shot for a dude that's being a goat that I'm going to carry.
Yeah.
Tatum's taking the most appropriate shot to his game. You know, that's a Tatum shot, not a game shot, but that's a Tatum way to a fadeaway. No way I can go get the rebound if it doesn't go in. 1-on-3 jump shot with 7 seconds left in the shot clock, of which you dribbled out the first 14. That's the Jason Tatum way of coming back.
Yeah. And the $25 million man, Jaylen Brown, this is the last you're going to get of him at $25 million. He is about to become the highest paid player in the league, $304 million over the next 5 years. I wonder if the Celtics are already going, did we really do that?
Well, you know what? After last night, you go, if I'm going to have to keep one of them, I'll take Brown. Even though Tatum had 26 and did what Jason Tatum's the modern day Carmelo. He's a lot of fun to watch. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy him. I enjoyed Carmelo. It was a good run.
Jaylen Brown, 0 of 6 from 3.
Mm-hmm.
19 points, minus 29 when he was on the floor.
That's $300 million.
That is the guy that you just made the highest paid player in the league.
And he's a Celtic for life.
And listen, I'm sure on the other end, he just dominated Donovan Mitchell. No, he didn't dominate Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell had himself a day, scoring 29 points, 5 of 7 from 3 for Donovan Mitchell, who does kind of have that. It feels like he's got that killer to him. Now he's had it for a long time, and it hasn't really produced any results. I don't know that it's going to produce results here. This could just be a hiccup. It could be the Celtics taking their foot off the gas a little bit.
That's the thing with the Celtics, though. You know, Brad Stevens has tried Marcus Smart, tried to get him tough that way. Well, Al Horford's come and gone. Now Drew Holiday, right? I mean, he keeps trying to find somebody to get him tough. Like, we got to toughen up. Traded for Derek White, who tutored under Pop, that had to fight his way from a cooking school. He keeps trying to find, will somebody get here and whip Tatum's ass? Can I get a Jimmy Butler up here that'll poke him in the eye like he's one of the Stooges? Like, dude, you're going to have to play. 3/4 of a game ain't enough. I need you the last 4 minutes of the game. I need MVP Tatum.
That's the other thing. I mean, Tatum did play 38 minutes. Jaylen Brown, 31. 31 minutes. Now, part of that could have been like the game's over.
There was a lot of they punted. I did feel like Serena giving up the third set. Like, let's just go to the next one.
Yeah,
the third game. Let's just go to the next set.
I mean, they got outscored 64-40 in the second half. I would have never dreamed I'd say it. They need Porzingis. And it's not about the paint points, but what Porzingis does is he pulls their big out of the paint. And as long as their big can stand in there, they're going to give up off or defensive rebounds all day long. Here goes fast breaks. Here goes Mitchell. They got to get Porzingis for the gravity that he provides. But I mean, that can't be an excuse either.
No, it's not an excuse, but it's a definite piece of the puzzle that they are required to have now.
The Cavs don't have Jared Allen right now. So it's like, it's a pretty big piece for them.
Well, Jared's not going to be the guy that's pulled out. It allowed last night Evan Mobley to be the difference maker.
No, you're right. All right. We're going to hit a break. On the other side, we're going to talk about the other game, Mavs-Thunder. That series got evened up last night as well. Despite Luka being banged up, Luka's dragging himself through this thing, falling flat on his face. I mean, Luka's like, what the hell do I got to do?
That was the most awkward fall I've ever seen.
Yeah, he's not graceful. He's not graceful. We'll talk about that on the other side. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You know, Twin Peaks, they wait on you all week long, and Fridays are set aside for the spectacular thing. You know, Bourbon and Brews has become part of the lexicon around San Antonio. You knew Friday you could show up to Twin Peaks and be taken care of in a way that involved lingerie and the finest of bourbons. Well, let's change the bourbons for tequilas, and let's celebrate the greatness of tequilas and cervezas as the summer begins. Ice yourself down with an icy cold cerveza, dressed the way it should be. And if you like the tequilas, the kind that the gentlemen drink, they've got them there. That's why you head to Twin Peaks every Friday. Get there early. Lunch specials are kicking. Then comes the cervezas and tequilas on a Friday. Go there today. Meet with like-minded folks. Sit in a man cave. Order those icy cold brews. You know how you know they're cold? Well, there's a thermometer above the bar. 29 degrees or better. You know that mixologist back there knows how to mix the drink. Ask her about the icy balls. They know how to use them. But why do we go? It's those scenic views.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on the Blitz, we are out of the studio at Tri-County Meat Market, the Huebner Road location.
It's Mother's Day. Come by, get a lot of free samples, and make sure you get what you need for Mother's Day. Plus, we'll talk NBA playoffs. John Machota from The Athletic, and you can meet our new morning guy, A.J. Hoffman, and Rob Thompson will join us.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. And in the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. The ugly truth is when you buy a timeshare, you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. I recently helped a couple that had their maintenance fees go from $800 to $3,200 a year. They also received a $4,000 assessment for a hurricane that was over 1,000 miles away. Sound crazy? The crazy thing is this never ends. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. Call 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. 800-462-3333. Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could burn in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com.
Evan Cohen here from Unsportsmanlike on ESPN Radio for True Green. Are you ready to elevate your lawn game without breaking the bank? True Green has been the trusted choice for over 2 million homeowners for over 50 years. Visit TrueGreen.com and discover the easiest and affordable way to achieve a pro-level lawn guaranteed. Plus, enjoy True Green's verified price matching, ensuring you get the best lawn for the best price. Visit TrueGreen.com and transform your lawn effortlessly. That's TrueGreen.com. Your dream lawn is just around the corner.
Robert is a real Prevagen user, and this is his story.
I am Robert Strickler. My wife Joyce and I have been married for 53 years. Certainly one of the really important things in my life are our children and our grandchildren. I am essentially a writer. I've been involved in communications. I've been an avid fly fisherman. I've been taking Prevagen for at least 8 years. For me, the greatest benefit over the years has been that Prevagen seems to help me recall things and also think more clearly, have a crisper ability to remember and think through things. And I enthusiastically recommend Prevagen. It has helped me an awful lot.
Prevagen is available in stores everywhere without a prescription. Based on a clinical study of subgroups of individuals who are cognitively normal or mildly impaired, this product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Testimonialist was compensated for their time.
Dave Ramsey here from my friends over at Connecticut in San Antonio. Trust me, Connecticut water systems are the best of the best. I personally have one in my home. All those other water softener systems out there are junk in comparison. Connecticut uses less water and runs on kinetic energy. So there's no computer to break, fewer moving parts, and it works only when you need it. It was even voted most efficient water softener in the world by the Water Quality Association. The team at Connecticut San Antonio can test your water, install a system, and provide treatment all without stepping a foot inside your home.
I'm Chris Canepa of Connecticut and San Antonio in the Hill Country. I'll let you try a Connecticut quality water softener for 90 days absolutely free. Call us at 656-PURE, that's 656-7873, or visit us on ConnecticutSA.com.
And tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
Call 656-PURE, Connecticut.
Joe Reinagle here. I want to tell you about something that has completely changed my life. I had vision correction surgery at Parkhurst New Vision. The results are amazing. The readers are a thing of the past. Hey, if you're like me and tired of those glasses, call Parkhurst New Vision at 210-585-2020. They offer a variety of services like vision correction surgery. So call Parkhurst New Vision, 210-585-2020, or get them online at sanantoniolasik.com. Hi, this is Joe Reinagle. You're listening to the home of the Texas Rangers, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. Oh, man. Caitlin Clark only scored 12 last night.
That's not what I had in my more or less.
Overrated.
She sucks.
What a loser. No, I guess they did win 83-80.
Who cares about wins?
Yeah, we want more points, girl.
Buckets.
Yeah. Like, give me a break. That's supposed to be, that's your lady basketball Lord and Savior. That?
Well,
12.
The thing is, I do prize picks.
Mm-hmm.
And they're doing a special thing on prize picks that's only Caitlin, like this rotator thing that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw it. And
a rotator.
Something. I don't know what it is.
We're learning all about rotators.
From now on, I'm just going to throw a rotator in when I don't know exactly what I'm talking about. It's got a rotator thing going on.
Yeah, rotator.
But there's a thing going on prize picks, and I couldn't quite figure it out. But it's all headed toward Tuesday for the first game or something. And the trend on the prize picks thing ain't good if this is all she's going to do.
Peyton Pritchard scored 13 points off the bench for the Celtics last night, just to put it into perspective.
What's your problem with Peyton?
I mean, I've got no problem. So I actually got an email. You know what? I planned on talking about the Mavericks here. You know what? Because that's what a radio professional would do. But we'll get to in a minute. There's a one-on-one discussion. Caitlin Clark against a man, and not a professional basketball player, though.
Not a professional basketball player.
So
how old a man?
We'll get to it. This is another tease. I'm going to tease. We'll get to that in a little while. Right now, we're going to talk about the Mavericks and the Thunder, who are now also tied up at one game apiece after a 119-110 victory for the Mavericks on the road. PJ Washington, I would argue Luka did Luka things, and in fact they scored the same amount of points, 29 apiece. But PJ Washington's 29 sure felt kind of out of the blue, and is a guy who averages like 12 a game. He showed up in a big moment, played a big game, 7 of 11 from 3. And Luka, I think the key to his game and kind of what we talked about was he can't turn the ball over 5-6 times a game. Like that just kills his game. 1 turnover yesterday. That's big.
Why he only had 1 turnover? Because he passed the ball. He didn't. He's so beat up he can't do the things he wants to do.
Oh yeah.
So he's holding the ball, a couple dribbles, and it's gone. And when he is at his best, and I never understood why his coaches, whether it's Carlisle or Kidd, can't get it into him. That dude, if you'll give it up, you'll get it back. And he's got so much gravity that now, especially now, he starts after his second dribble. There were 3 Thunder standing around
him. Yeah.
And if he will just give it up like he did yesterday to dudes that are standing in the corner wide open, it wasn't like he had to do a lot of work. The dude just hit open jump shots and got 29 points because Luka became a distributor instead of a black hole. I mean, and it's because he's hurt, and that was the formula. I'd like to think it's translatable. I think it might have to be because he has beat the crap. That was one of those. He was bleeding through his bandage. Did you see that last night? That's scary.
Also fell onto his face. I mean, this looked like and I hate acting like Luka's not he's one of the best players in the world. So when I say what I'm about to say, I don't mean it.
No, I think you're
sparingly. Right. But some of the things he does are things that unathletic people do. Like, I don't know, like if you were in gym class and there was a portly kid, like the way Luka fell last night is the way the fat kid falls when you're playing, when you're in like PE and it's the class is learning how to play basketball and you're like running up and down the court and the fat kid falls and he doesn't get his hands out in front of him. It's like, it all happened so fast that he couldn't prepare himself. And it's almost like he's hitting a slip and slide. So his arms go back like he's a dolphin jumping up onto the thing and like it's SeaWorld and just going to slide onto
kissing the floor.
And boom. And then he's like stands up and is like rubbing his tooth and shaking his head and spitting blood.
Like, dude, man.
What? You're one of the best athletes in the world and that's how you fall. To me, what it does is it really highlights how good Luka must be at basketball because
he's not a graceful cat by any stretch.
No, I think when Austin Rivers was saying there are a bunch of guys in the NBA who could play in the NFL, he wasn't talking about Luka.
No.
Unless he thought maybe Luka could be a place kicker.
Do you think you never know? Do you think he can? Because he's literally going to have to do this from here on out on one leg. Bruised up. There's no help. It's either him. Kyrie can't do what he does. He can't.
No. And Kyrie, I mean, it's funny. I think Kyrie can, but when Kyrie does, the team is not good.
Right. Kyrie is capable of winning a game on his own. And I'm not saying that. I'm talking about doing what he did last night and getting the others involved. And whether it was by design or by effect of the injury, it worked. Yeah. That's what they have to do to beat Oklahoma City.
Yeah, and it's going to be a long series. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander in the loss, 33 points, 12 boards, 8 assists, 2 turnovers. Like he's playing this is a battle of the second and third place guys in the MVP voting. And they both played like it last night. Josh Giddey, minus 20. Not ideal.
Exposed.
Yeah, it's funny when you look at the plus minuses they lost the game, so you'd expect some ugly numbers. Shea was minus 6, but Chet Holmgren plus 4, Jalen Williams plus 1, Lou Dort plus 1, Josh Giddey minus 20.
Lou Dort's one of those dudes who play in the NFL.
Yeah, Lou Dort is typically the guy you look at as this is the Luka stopper. Like that's what he's there for. And I mean, it's not like he did a terrible job. He's just not going to provide anything.
No, he did as much as you could.
Yeah. This was it was a good game for Luka, and they're going to have those. And a lot of it is 3-point variance. You know, if you shoot 48% from 3, PJ Washington goes 7 of 11. That's probably not going to happen for the rest of these games.
Most likely to go 7 as we sit now.
I think it's this one.
I think so. It feels like it, doesn't it?
I think it's this one. In fact, it's got to be this one. This is the only one I can picture even possibly going 7. So yeah. All right. When we hit the break, what did I say I was going to tell you about?
There were several things we brought up.
And you said no. Start talking.
There was a basketball man. We were going to do the gender thing.
Yes. Caitlin Clark. That's what it was. We'll talk about Caitlin Clark versus.
Will she be in a bathing suit when she plays the guy?
No. No. He will be in a bathing suit.
There you go.
And that's sort of the great equalizer. We'll talk about the odds and who this man is. And I want to know what Rob thinks. If Rob were to say, This is who I think wins because Rob's a basketball guy. I want to hear who he thinks wins. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
94.1 FM.
GiveMeTheVin.com is America's best car buyer, paying top dollar for your car, truck, sports car, exotic. What are you waiting for? We want to buy your car right now. Find out why thousands of satisfied customers across the United States put more money in their pocket by going to GiveMeTheVin.com. I told my buyers, let's get them bought. Right now is the time to go.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
When your business needs an electrician, for over 35 years, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio. Powered by relationships with dedicated estimators who analyze the issue, research cost-effective solutions, and clearly communicate the options without charging you a dime. A proven process that allows you to continue focusing on your unique purpose. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. That's 404-9074. Or hill-electric.com.
Eric was way behind on his taxes.
I owed a lot of money to the IRS, almost $15,000. I tried to make payments.
The IRS wasn't satisfied with Eric's efforts, so they came after him full force.
They're coming to put a lien and a hold on all my income, my home, my car. I was just overwhelmed at what to do.
Then Eric called Optima Tax Relief.
When Optima Tax got involved, the calls would stop, the threats would stop. It was easy like 1, 2, 3.
Optima Tax Relief is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and their team of expert tax professionals took care of Eric's problem.
I owe $15,000, and now my debt is clean. I don't owe anything.
Take Eric's advice.
If you have a tax problem, you need to call Optima Tax now.
Call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-714-8422. 800-714-8422. 800-714-8422.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-230-2777. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-230-2777. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-230-2777. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-230-2777, 800-230-2777, or biglou.com.
PSA for anyone who's not the best at remembering dates. Mother's Day is May 12th. Luckily, finding something she'll love is easy. Just go to Kohl's. I got a Sephora fragrance set for $35. Then with the extra 20% off, I scored cute PJs for just $19.99 and jewelry for under $30. Plus, I earned Kohl's Cash and found even more great prices across the store. Yep, it doesn't get better than Kohl's. Select styles. Offers end May 12th. Coupons and Kohl's Cash do not apply to Sephora. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Nissan's 2024 Pathfinder lives up to its name. Whatever path you choose, from muddy jungles to snowy trails to rolling sand dunes, the 2024 Nissan Pathfinder has the capability to get you there. With 7 drive modes, Pathfinder's available intelligent 4-wheel drive is built for even the most epic journeys. Find your path with Nissan's 2024 Pathfinder. Head to nissanusa.com for more details. Intelligent 4-wheel drive cannot prevent collisions or provide enhanced traction in all conditions. Always monitor traffic and weather conditions.
This is Jason Minix from the Blitz. You're listening to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
I just realized our feed is behind us.
What do you think about
tripping me out?
5-6 second delay?
I think so.
That sounds
Which
about
means,
right.
you could call up and cuss and we might have time to drop.
Well, no, don't do that.
No, I didn't. Did I say that out loud?
And that's just the YouTube anyway.
Well, you can cuss all day on YouTube.
Yeah, you want to get on that brigade bar and cuss, you do it. I haven't even looked.
I know
looked at the
we don't
brigade
have
bar
enough,
today.
much time.
We never have enough
I know.
time to do all the
mostly
crap
my
I
fault.
want to. No.
What's her? Oh man, I used to do some work with her. She used to be on Fox, and my story's already down the tubes because I forgot. Gretchen. She now does a podcast.
I know who you're
I
talking
happened
about.
to stumble on something where they were pulling a clip of her, and she's doing this podcast and cussing like she's on a ship. And it was the
Gretchen Carlson.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she was laying it out like a drill sergeant, and it was the strangest thing to witness. She was calling somebody full of
Because
this.
it's someone
you're an MFer and that blah blah blah. Wow.
And it's probably like it's someone you probably thought when she was on the news.
Gretchen Kelly.
Oh, Gretchen Kelly.
Yeah, Gretchen.
Okay. I know. Okay,
I used to do a
I'm thinking
Fox
of a
thing
different
with her.
person then.
I
Okay.
used to do political talk, and I would go on Fox, and I was the liberal to the Republican response, and I used to do a thing on Fox with her. So she was so always erudite, and to see this podcast where she's laying it down, man, it was like a bad dream. It was the bizarro world.
I'm always fascinated when like TV news people start cussing. Like because when you think of the people on TV, you think like think about a guy like Anderson Cooper.
Right.
Do you think Anderson Cooper's like
that dirty rotten F
mother F? Like I just can't picture it. Like and I realize that, oh, well, they're professionals at their job. That's just how they behave on it, because I don't cuss on the air either.
No, but
I sometimes, rarely, but sometimes I'll say a naughty word.
I'm a cusser.
Are you?
I am an overt. I have a ritual on air to avoid such things.
Do your kids cuss?
See, we were pretty good about it for the longest time, but once they got out of high school and came back from college, we let the expletives fly. No, we're a salty family. We do cuss.
I wonder, like, if I give my older son a little too much leash when it comes to cussing.
Mm-hmm. It's a difficult one because we didn't allow it, but I was always the one that would let one or two go, always.
Yeah, and he's 16, and sometimes he'll say something like, he doesn't really say stuff in front of his mother, and he certainly, like, if he's around any family that's not
right,
his immediate, he won't. But sometimes around me, he'll let something
I'll tell
fly.
You when you'll lose it. The moment that you laugh at one of the things they cuss at, the toothpaste is out of the tube. It is, you've turned the page. They're going to cuss from that one. The moment they say something and that you go, it's an appropriate cuss. And
maybe so.
You have now given them the credit and the credo to move on. Go ahead and cuss all you want.
All right. Rob was right about this. I don't have time to do the story I wanted to do. Just so everyone knows, I am not a radio professional. I made a radio tease. I wanted to get the job done, and I failed.
I aided and abetted. I'm sorry.
It's because Rob started talking about Gretchen.
I know.
God dang it.
I know.
I was gonna say I hadn't looked at the brigade board all day. Some people agreeing with us. Jason Tatum can't take over a game. We got some Houston folks in here. Looks like Elm and Chuck are Houston guys.
How can you tell?
Because they say sports to you.
Oh, there you go. That's the code. Gotcha.
That's the code. And the Dallas Stars strike back. Yes, they did, Hunter.
Ooh.
And got the over.
Somebody got paid.
Empty
netter,
baby.
Cha-ching.
Listen, I always say 3 + 3 = 7 in hockey, and 6.5 easy over, man. Although it was 1-0 at the end of one, and I was sitting there going, oh man.
Rudolph, does AJ grill or BBQ? Yes, he does. He is of like mind.
I am. Although I don't have a grill here.
We'll have to fix that. We're gonna have to fix that. You're gonna.
But I mean, what am I gonna do with it? Put it. I'm gonna be in an apartment. Like, I'm just gonna have to take a year off from grilling.
You're just gonna be that dude at the apartment that just sets up his Weber out in the middle of the commons and a lawn chair.
They have some propane grills.
You'll be that guy. Just go sit out by the cooler and meet your neighbors.
Maybe that's what I'll do. I don't like neighbors. I don't like meeting people. I'm not good at that. So, but I'll figure something out. But I do like. I was telling you, I want at the meat place today. I want to see if they've got any duck, because I need to get some duck legs to cook.
I can guarantee you that Tri-County will have you full of duck.
They'll have me
ducking,
covered, baby.
You'll be ducking and covering before you know it.
All right. When we come back and we get into hour number 2, now I promise you I'll talk about this Caitlin Clark story, and Rob is going to tell me if Caitlin Clark can beat a man at basketball. Not a male basketball player, but just a regular man. We'll talk about that on the other side. It's the Morning Huddle right here on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
This is the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. KTFM Floresville.
Progressive presents good news, bad news, dumb news, then great news. Good news. While leaning over the fence, your neighbors said you could save money bundling home and auto insurance with Progressive. Bad news. Your neighbor leaned over a little too much and broke your fence. Dumb news. Somehow fence wood is more expensive than wood. Great news. You decide to see if you could save money bundling at Progressive.com and to plant really tall shrubs. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
If you need bold banners to boost your business, but you're on a budget, think Staples. Posters, flyers, signs, and menus for less? Think Staples. Staples can print anything you need to move your business forward. Now at Staples, save $50 on your print purchase of $150 or more. Same-day service available on hundreds of items if you order by noon. And all backed by Staples' Print Perfect guarantee. So it's done right or it's printed again free. Staples, your local print and marketing expert. And 61, visit staples.com/print for details.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
You want another way to add excitement to watching the NBA playoffs? Jason Minix here. Let me tell you about Underdog Fantasy. It is a fan favorite way to play fantasy sports, especially playing the pick'em game, where you pick between 2 and 5 players to build your pick'em entry, and all you have to do is select higher or lower on player stats. If your picks hit, you can win up to 100 times your money, endless projections to choose from. It is fantasy and it is legal in Texas. So get started by going to the easy-to-use Underdog Fantasy mobile app or go to the website underdogfantasy.com. Sign up with my promo code STAR, and Underdog will give you a mystery special pick to use on your first pick'em entry and a deposit offer. Must be over 18 and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Again, sign up using my promo code STAR at underdogfantasy.com.
Eric was way behind on his taxes.
I owed a lot of money to the IRS, almost $15,000. I tried to make payments.
The IRS wasn't satisfied with Eric's efforts, so they came after him full force.
They're coming to put a lien and a hold on all my income, my home, my car. I was just overwhelmed at what to do.
Then Eric called Optima Tax Relief.
When Optima Tax got involved, the calls would stop, the threats would stop. It was easy like 1, 2, 3.
Optima Tax Relief is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and their team of expert tax professionals took care of Eric's problem.
I owe $15,000, and now my debt is clean. I don't owe anything.
Take Eric's advice.
If you have a tax problem, you need to call Optima Tax now.
Call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-714-8422. 800-714-8422. 800-714-8422.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
San Antonio's Sports Star. San Antonio's Sports Center.
The NBA playoffs continue as the Mavs took down the Thunder on the road. Luka pacing them with 29-10. Final score 119-110. Series comes back to Dallas. The Cleveland Cavaliers bounce back to take game 2 against the Boston Celtics 128-94, paced by Donovan Mitchell. The series now tied at 1-1. Tonight, it's game 3 between the Knicks and Pacers as the series shifts back to Indianapolis. The Knicks lead the series 2-0. That's followed by the T-Wolves and Nuggets. The defending champs trail 2-0 to the T-Wolves. The tip is set for 8:30. In Major League Baseball, the Texas Rangers return to action today after a day off as they are in Colorado to open a series with the Rockies. First pitch set for 7:40. You can catch the game at ESPN 1250 starting at 7. The Astros avoided the sweep in New York with a 4-3 win over the Yankees. They open a series in Detroit this afternoon at 5:40. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm AJ Hoffman. He's Rob Thompson. Day 5 of the brand spanking new, for the last day, brand spanking new Morning Huddle. This is the last day we'll be introduced to the afternoon show audience. And we'll do that out at Tri-County Meat Market on Hebner.
Hebner.
You hear that? You hear how I said it?
Roads. You got it right.
Hebner.
One of those trick ones.
I'm just I'm a pro. Like, it's what's for dinner, baby. I promised you twice and lied once, but I'm going to come through this time. There's a story out there about Caitlin Clark. She's been challenged by a man to a one-on-one basketball match. Cooper DeJean, who is the newest Philadelphia Eagle and the newest white cornerback.
Dude's a beast. Have you seen some of his?
Yeah, but I mean, are you drafting a white cornerback? I'm not. I don't do it.
Wow.
No way.
Wow.
No way, man. Listen, there's some trends I'm not looking to buck. It's that's one of those things. It's like, if it was going to work, it would have worked a long time ago. White guy playing cornerback, not going to happen. It ain't going to work. We'll see. Give me the last time. People are like, Jason Sehorn. Bro, that was like 25 years ago now.
Well, those guys that are playing those are your Edelmans. Those are your white cornerbacks.
I wonder if Edelman could have. I mean, maybe he could have made it as a corner.
And all of them. From if you're looking for the guy with the body type to do that kind of stuff, look at your slot wide receivers.
Yeah,
those are those guys.
Cooper DeJean, 6'1". He challenged Caitlin Clark. He said he could beat her. Now they both went to Iowa. Could be some friendly banter there.
I think it is.
But someone had asked him if he thinks he could beat her at one-on-one, and he said, "Yeah." What do you think?
10 times out of 10.
That Cooper beats her?
Yeah, well, because he's a college and now professional football player. So again, my question was, who's she going to play?
Not only that, he was a 3-year varsity basketball player in high school in Ida Grove, Iowa.
And his tape is pretty impressive.
Where he scored 1,832 points. Did he score more than you in his high school career?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. This dude was a bucket. And
how about this? That's 45 more points than Harrison Barnes scored in his Iowa high school basketball career. So this guy can play.
Yeah.
And if you're a white guy and you're athletic enough to play cornerback in the NFL, you got some.
Dude can touch the top of the box. We're talking about he is a supreme athlete.
Yeah. I'm with you. 10 times out of 10, he's going to beat Caitlin Clark in basketball.
And that's not degrading to any. He'd beat a lot of anybody.
Yes.
I mean, but the argument will always be the physical strength. And at the end of the day, no matter how much you refine and you add and you skill, and the physical will overcome. Now, if physically you're even, yeah, she'll beat you. She'll beat you. I bet she would beat 85% of 45-year-old men or over.
I think you're probably
90%, 100%. But to say Cooper DeJean, really, that's the choice? Oh, never. That would be an embarrassment and be humiliating.
I think so too.
Growing up, I used to have to play against you grow up in a military base and you go and play in the gyms there, and there's equality, man. You got next, man, woman, or whatever. And I grew up as a young guy playing on courts with the military types, and there was a girl that went to John Jay named Clarissa Davis, famous, wonderful basketball player. And if you guarded her, she could score on you, but if you left her alone, she'd beat you. It was one of those situations you didn't want to be too aggressive because you look like, dude, what are you doing? I mean, you're playing a girl, but she wasn't a girl; she was a baller. So if you let up any, she'd beat you. She would score, and she would throw an elbow into everything that was required. But if you did anything, you could just push her off her game. It just wasn't possible.
When I was in 8th grade, there was a girl in my bracket in a wrestling tournament.
See, that's your nightmare, right?
I'm telling you, it was the worst thing that ever happened to me.
So what do you do?
So this was the deal. I had a first round bye, and they call it pigtails. It was like a play-in game.
Oh, gotcha.
And I was going to wrestle the winner. And I was like, God, please let this dude win. Please let this dude win. He didn't win.
Well, I don't know what's worse.
She won.
Having to pin and be physically dominant or get pinned by. You know what I mean?
That was my thought. She pinned this dude. Like, this wasn't points. She pinned him. And you know what? It's probably, for me, it was the best thing that she could have done.
Uh-huh.
Because had she won on points, I think I would have, like.
So it scared you enough to, like, this.
Yeah,
chick
I took it seriously.
Yeah, I got you.
And I was not going to be. I just wasn't going to let it happen. Like I weighed it out in my mind. Like, what's the worst thing that can happen?
That would be it.
And that was the worst. The worst is because I saw his face coming off the mat, and I was like, "Oh,
I don't know how you come back from that.
God, that guy's got to ride the bus home with his teammates, and that's all that's going to be talked about on that bus ride." I said, "Never me,
never ever,
never me." So I pinned her in about 20-something seconds, and I
apologize. I'm sorry.
I did. I literally did.
Man, I'm sorry.
I did not. And this sounds terrible. I did not take it easy on her.
And you shouldn't.
I jammed my shoulder into her face. Like I was
not trying to hurt her. You're just trying to.
No, I treated her like I would have treated anybody else I was wrestling, and just ended it as quickly as possible, like I would with any woman. Ended as quickly as possible, and
get out. Jokes there. I'm gonna just let that fly by.
Get out of there.
I'm gonna just let that fly
get out of there
by.
with my hand raised.
Well, I'm gonna that's show 5. I'm gonna let that.
But I had that terror of what I mean, and this is
So you treated her like you would treat a little person at a stall.
No,
I
treated that guy more gentlemanly. Like I was.
Well, you were gentlemanly to her. You treated as appropriate, I think.
Okay,
you did the right thing.
Maybe so. Yeah,
I would want if I was.
I try to always do the right thing.
Female wrestler, don't take it easy on me.
Right.
I'm here to do it, and that you should. But I'm not going to go over on either. But you were doing the right thing.
I started to think, like, what if it gets to a situation where I've got to like suplex this chick?
Yeah, like
do I do it? Can I really bring myself to do it? But it didn't have to come to that. Thank God. There are odds on Cooper DeJean versus Caitlin Clark 1-on-1 because Caitlin said, no, he can't beat me. I promise you, he can't beat me. BetOnline.ag has odds for a potential 1-on-1 game.
There'd have to be handicaps. I don't know what it would be. There'd have to be a handicap.
I would unload my account on Cooper DeJean at -700. Caitlin Clark +400.
But because there's so many questions here. Do we use are we using the women's ball or the men's ball?
It's a good question. I think you'd have to use a women's ball.
Well, see, that's a detriment to a guy. Have you ever gone and
it's harder.
Picked up a women's ball?
It's harder.
Just feels weird. Yeah,
it does. Yeah,
immediately. It's not.
But
the right
also,
ball.
it's like, and it wouldn't be a problem for Cooper DeJean. But like, there's a lot of guys who can dunk a women's ball that can't dunk a men's ball. Like,
that's the first thing. I could palm, but the first thing you ever dunk is a volleyball because you can hold on.
Yes, yeah. So it's most dudes over 6 foot can palm a women's basketball.
Easily. You pick it up. Yeah, that you feel it immediately. So which ball do you use? It matters.
You have to be, I mean, you have to be a big person to be able to palm a basketball. And it's like,
but I'll say this, women are much more accustomed to playing with our ball than we are with theirs.
Agreed. But like I used to try for grip strength to carry around a basketball and like wave it around, and it's hard. Like you lose it. So Caitlin Clark's never going to be able to palm a men's basketball.
But I will give her credit, man. If she's got any kind of quickness, you got to step out and guard her. She will logo you. She will bust from the logo. But you're going to have to step out. And if she's even moderately quick, and this is a cornerback, he can run backwards. She's not going to get by him.
To their credit, BetOnline, the brand manager, Dave Mason, said, in actuality, the odds should be even higher on Cooper's side. However, we know we'll get action on Caitlin at 4-1, so no reason to give more value to her bettors. It's a Floyd Mayweather, Conor McGregor type of odds setting situation. Everyone would back the underdog at any number because of the hype. This was earlier this year. If you remember, BetOnline said they would put up $1 million with the Las Vegas Aces against a boys high school basketball state champion team of Clay Travis's choosing. The bet was that Travis would pay the Aces a cool $1 if they beat the boys basketball team, and BetOnline would pay the boys if they beat the women. But obviously, that never happened. But what are your thoughts on that? A high school state championship basketball team, the 6A state champions in Texas versus the Las Vegas Aces. Who are you taking?
Well, I'm obviously going to take the men.
The boys,
the boys. Mean? Well, I mean, you're 18, you're a man. Physically, anyway. It's just one of those things. It's just not the right argument to ever have. It just doesn't. It's just physically, it's just not.
It's not fair.
It's just not gonna. As much as we want it to, it's just not. It's a different game, played in a different style, coached and taught in a different way. It's a floor level game. It is not a high level game. It's not an elevated game. You're playing on the floor, and you have to do things on the floor. And the higher you progress in basketball, it becomes less of a floor game and more of an air game. And they're never going to be in that airspace ever.
And all it takes is one 6'10", long arm, athletic.
I'll give you an example. Pick big boy from North Carolina State. Remember big boy? Plant him in the paint.
Brian Burns.
Plant big boy in the paint. He never moves 3 feet, and you win 10-0.
Yeah.
I mean,
who's going to stop him?
Nobody. It's just not. See, I hate having these arguments because it sounds like you're being demeaning, and you're not.
I am.
Well, I'm not.
Yeah,
Caitlin is a phenomenal basketball player. It is a pleasure to watch her play. But to say, well, can she beat Cooper DeJean? No. And I wouldn't ask her to.
And that's kind of why I hate it. But you know what? The people the media, whoever brought this on,
right,
when they started saying she passed Pistol Pete. Like, come on.
Yeah, she did.
It's a different game.
And deserves everything that Pete got. You know what I mean? I'm not saying she deserves any less, but don't put it in any other frame other than she did it as a woman against women, not against men.
Pistol Pete averaged like 45 points a game for his entire college. He back then, freshmen couldn't play. He had one less year, and they're acting like it's apples to apples.
Right.
Like, it's not. I didn't like that.
Now, I'll put an argument. Now, basketball is one thing. I think if you're playing Serena in tennis in her heyday, unless you were an ATP touring pro, you were going to lose.
I think you're right. I don't think like a professional basketball player who happened to be on the tennis team in high school,
right,
is beating Serena.
No. And I would say every guy you've been to every club or court would lose to her too.
When I worked in Austin, we knew Andy Roddick a little bit, and we did a radio bit where I went out and I had 10 chances to return a serve from Andy Roddick.
Like a cannon shot, right?
0 of 10.
Yeah.
I think I touched maybe 2, neither one of them even came
Serena's
close to
going
getting
over
back
100
across the net.
And Serena's doing over 100 too in her heyday. So so it is an apples and apples kind of thing. And choose the proper sport, and we can get a little bit more competitive.
And I was a baseball player growing up, and Kat Osterman, when she was at Texas,
Kat's a good friend of the show.
I tried to hit off of her, and it's hard. And
Dude,
it's hard.
When I threw out the one time I threw out a first pitch. The girl, it was me and a girl that had just won a state softball title.
Mm-hmm.
So she came up first, and I had been around girls that played softball, and I'd seen softball pitches from a distance. I had never been next to a state champion softball pitcher, and she stepped up there and delivered like an 80-mile-an-hour underhanded whiplash shot. Like I don't know
moves
the
up.
physics of that pitch. I still don't understand. I don't know how you can get the velocity that they're capable of getting underhanded. I don't get it. I don't understand it. She stepped forward and it was whack. I mean, you could hear it hit the glove, and I was next. I had to follow that.
The thing that's crazy is like you don't realize how close you are to them.
Well, there is that distance thing,
and it's like where you would hit where they would throw BP to you when you were playing baseball. Except imagine they're throwing as hard as they can.
And a fade up kind of that looping up curve thing that ball does. Dude, and it is ridiculous how fast they're capable of it. So choose the right setting, the right sport, then we'll get some equal stuff. But when we're getting to this kind of game, it's just not fair.
All right, we're going to hit a break. We're going to talk about Frank Vogel being fired. Kevin Durant sends another guy packing. Rob and I were talking before the show. It seems like Kevin Durant plays by different rules than one of his other fellow NBA stars. I want to know why he gets away with so much more. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
San Antonio Sports Star.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
There's a 3-year-old girl named Audrey who has already pretty much got the vocal chops to be a metal singer.
I'm gonna sing right now. I like me,
Wow. Do you like metal, JD?
I do, actually. I like Metallica. My car's made of it.
Let's get some metal.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
Texas weather this time of year means storms, wind, rain, and hail. If you were hit with the recent storms and you think you have roof damage, don't make the situation worse by putting your faith in one of those out-of-town storm chasers. Work with a local roofing company with years of experience. Work with a company whose people live in our area and deal with the same weather we do. That's Stevens Roofing, 210-785-0994. Or you can get them online at stevensroofing.net. Buy local, stay local, trust local with Stevens Roofing.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
A Gain Scent Bead story. Jim was at the laundromat when he heard his ear said, "Maraca, senor," but his nose said, "Hey, freshest scent ever." Following his nose, Jim found a man pouring a bottle of Gain Scent Beads into the washer. The scent, the freshness. Jim blurted, "Sir, your scent Maraca smell amazing." Actually, Jim, most noses call them Gain Scent Beads. Try Gain Scent Beads, way fresher than detergent alone.
For the last 4 decades, San Antonio sports has dared this community to dream big through the transformational power of sport. For 40 years, we've inspired youth to get in the game, motivated San Antonians to live healthy, been a force behind places to play, and hosted events that impact. As we celebrate 40 years of dreaming big, we invite you to dream big along with us. To support our mission, donate today at sanantoniosports.org.
Every so often in medicine, something comes along that is truly revolutionary.
Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, former orthopedic surgeon, now National Medical Director at QC Kinetics.
I believe this is one of those things.
Dr. Scheinkup is talking about regenerative medicine, something he's practiced, researched, and written about for nearly 2 decades.
The old ways of dealing with joint pain, such as steroids and surgery, are no longer the best ways.
If you have pain from arthritis or injury, you owe it to yourself to learn more about this exciting option. Using your own body body's natural power to get lasting relief. And there's no better place to learn than QC Kinetics.
There is no one in this country today with more clinics, more satisfied patients, more advanced protocols, or more experience in using this exciting option to deliver life-changing results.
Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. 210-571-0318.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Welcome in.
This is it. This
is it,
your
man.
rotator right here?
This is the rotator.
It's like
it's over.
All the early 80s movies rolled into one little sound.
That's it, baby. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. This is the Morning Huddle. Frank Vogel out in Phoenix. One whole year he got. And another head rolls at the feet of Kevin Durant. It's funny because Kevin Durant has done a lot of the things in his career that LeBron James has done, yet receives like maybe 20%, 15% of the criticism. And in some instances, he's done worse than LeBron because like when he got caught with the burner accounts, like LeBron's never dealt with, like LeBron has said he says what he says on social media and he owns it. I mean, KD was like hiding behind accounts saying things, something that imagine if LeBron had done that, what the backlash would have been. Kevin Durant seems to things seem to not stick to him. Like even when it was obviously when LeBron went to Miami, it was, well, LeBron can't win, in Cleveland, so he had to go somewhere where he could just collect rings. He couldn't win by himself. When KD went to the Warriors, there was more criticism of the Warriors than there was of Kevin Durant. At least it felt like to me.
Well, he was a merc at that point. Like he had become a hired gun.
Yeah,
at that moment, and he took a fair amount of abuse. Like, dude,
but
can't
nothing
you do
like
it on your own.
Nothing like LeBron took going to Miami
nothing, because LeBron was an entity. It always felt like KD just wanted to ball, and LeBron wanted to win for the brand. And we penalized KD because all he wanted to do was ball. I just want to play ball, and you guys pick on me for this other stuff, and just let me be the MVP and the cheat code that I am and leave me alone. And where LeBron wanted the attention, I don't think KD ever really chased it and was forced on him, and he didn't handle it very well.
Like if you said, make a list of the top, 5 players in the last 20, 25 years, since 2000, Kevin Durant's on that list. I think he is.
And he's a victim of his own. He never wanted to be thought of as tall. So he always kind of downplayed his height. Didn't want to be listed at 7 feet, wanted to be 6'11", because he didn't want to be thought of as a center who's trying to play, 2 guard or 3 guard. And he did that to kind of help his game, but it was to the detriment, because as we talk about what Wemby is doing, Durant's been doing that and does it in a way I don't think a lot of people know or have seen him up close. You know what I mean? You've never seen a 7'2" dude do what he's doing, and he does it in a way that you think he's not that tall, and he is.
Well, I covered him at Texas, and it was almost pain. Like it looked like someone who, like, I wanted them to give him a sandwich or something. Like he was
It was
so painfully slender.
And it was in the big uniform era where those things were just kind of draped on him.
Yes. But I think that KD just gets away with more than I would expect him to get away with, given the type of player he is. But I think that LeBron being LeBron, and this is the big difference between the two. No one has, at least I shouldn't say no one. I've never heard anyone say KD's better than Jordan. KD's the GOAT. I've never heard anyone say it.
No.
And I think that protects him, because the reason why people come after LeBron the way they do is there's a group of people who are very protective of Michael's legacy. And I'm not of the belief that LeBron's greater than Jordan, and particularly if you just take into account the postseason success. I had a discussion at my last job about Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. And most people say Tom Brady's the best quarterback of all time. And I'm not going to argue against it. But the way we determine who the best football players are is with either MVPs or there's an all-pro team listed every year. And that's widely respected as not a Pro Bowl team, because everybody makes the Pro Bowl. But if you're an all-pro, it says you are the best in the league at your position. And Peyton Manning, when it comes to MVPs and all-pros, was doing laps around Tom Brady.
Until he hurt his neck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and the last we remember Peyton was that neck, and that's what it took to get another Super Bowl.
But Tom Brady won in the postseason when it counts. And LeBron in the regular season, the stats that LeBron has compiled in his career, it blows my mind. But he's never going to have, because he's already lost as many finals as he did, he's never going to be looked at as good of a postseason player as Jordan. I think that comparison, the early comparisons to Jordan, just made so many people have this disdain towards LeBron that no matter what he did, we were going to make the worst of it. And somehow KD's done all the same things and gotten away with it. Frank Vogel is gone right now because KD does not want Frank Vogel to be his coach anymore. And now it seems KD wants Mike Budenholzer to be his coach. If I'm Mike Budenholzer, what do you say? It's not like you're going to go, I don't want that job.
No, you say, I don't want that job.
Do you?
I think Budenholzer's the kind that can say that. What is he thinking? He hadn't reached that level of retread. I wouldn't take that. That's when I heard Budenholzer, you fired Frank Vogel to go get Budenholzer. That was the fix to your problem. You thought if we exit Frank Vogel and we go get Mike Budenholzer, we're going to right the ship. That was the thinking going on there. So that story continues to be written, and I guarantee you there were 4 coaches before Mike Budenholzer said no. Said, no, I'm not touching that job with a 10-foot pole, man.
I don't think Mike Budenholzer said no yet.
Not what I've seen. And I think now he has come to that. Frank Vogel and Mike Budenholzer are the same guy.
I mean, this is a 2-time NBA Coach of the Year. Frank
Vogel brought Memphis from the ashes, won a title, and while we can discount the quality of the title, it's still a title in a desperate situation.
Yeah.
They both can coach. They know how to deal with the attitudes of superstars. I mean, Doc Rivers has made a lifelong career out of it. And these guys, we're now finding babysitters instead of coaches. Budenholzer's a babysitter. That's all he is.
Yeah.
All Vogel is a babysitter.
I always thought that Bud got maybe a little bit of a raw deal, won a title, and then 2 years later he won 58 games and got let go.
That's what happens when you're a babysitter and not a coach.
Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. Maybe you maybe know this better than me, but I always think the guy who learned under Popovich would be widely respected. You don't get that vibe about him in the league?
I think he was.
But not now.
Everybody takes their own path. But yeah, I think that he lost respect of his team and they got rid of him. And notice he hadn't really bounced back yet. You know what I mean?
It's great. That's what I always think. I'm like, I can't believe they fired that guy. And then it's like 2 years later, well, he still doesn't have a job. Why?
It always, the constant coach search around the NBA, and then we just praise Miami, the culture of Miami, and why they got the culture? Because they got a coach who's got enough backing from the back to have some sack to tell Jimmy Butler, you know what, you need to shut up a little bit. Can you imagine any other general manager on any other NBA team going, no, I love him, but he needs to shut up?
No, I actually can't imagine that.
So you think, why don't we have that kind of culture? Well, give a guy, it doesn't matter with any guy. Spoelstra was a film room cat. Yeah. So give any guy enough sack, they can run a team.
All right, we're going to hit a break. When we come back, we're going to talk a little football. Jordan Love. I want to talk about Jordan Love because he is next in line, it seems, for a good day. And I'm not sure if I'd be the team to give him that good day, but I want Rob's opinion on this, because when we talked about it before the show, he was like, yeah, he's next. And my thought is he really? We'll talk about that. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Rob, what are you going to tell the people about?
I want to talk about Tri-County Meat Market and come and see us. We are going to be out today from the Blitz will be out there 2 to 6, celebrating Mother's Day the right way. Fine meats over fire. Come out and join us. We'll be there from 3 to 4. There'll be celebrations in the parking lot. There's new rubs to be had. But if you haven't been to Tri-County, this will be your first chance. Walk in and take advantage of the 5 for 25. Fill a bag, 5 different items, meats included. You're going to have 2 meals in there, $25. If you're a first responder, get you 10% just for doing what you're doing. Thank you very much. But today's a celebration for Mama. Make sure you're treating her the right way. Head over to Tri-County. Get some of those big old steaks, some chicken, or maybe even some duck legs. Yeah, they might even have those as well. Tri-County is going to be fun. Come out and join us today. Get some fine meat, put it on the grill, and you can thank me later.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on the Blitz, we are out of the studio at Tri-County Meat Market, the Huebner Road location.
It's Mother's Day. Come by, get a lot of free samples, and make sure you get what you need for Mother's Day. Plus, we'll talk NBA playoffs, John Machota from The Athletic, and you can meet our new morning guy, A.J. Hoffman, and Rob Thompson will join us.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
When was the last time you went to the dentist? Need a new dentist? Hi, Jason Minix here. Go see my dentist at Smile Structure Dentistry and Braces. Smile Structure can handle all your dentistry needs, from general dentistry to oral surgery, orthodontics for the kids, or Invisalign for adults. Mention this ad, get a free exam and x-rays. Veteran owned with 5 San Antonio area locations. Learn more and book an appointment online at smilestructure.com. That's smilestructure.com.
Hi, my name's Jason Thompson. I've lived in San Antonio for more than 50 years. Went to grade school, high school, and graduated from law school right here. San Antonians have trusted me as their attorney after serious injury and fatality collision since 1994. My website is alawyerforus.com. Why a lawyer for us? Well, after several years of practice, I watched as insurance companies created their own law firms solely to defend against auto claims. Today, there are very few insurance companies that do not have their own captive law firm filled with attorneys whose job is to minimize what the insurance company has to pay on an auto claim. If you or a family member is injured in a traffic collision, you will need your own attorney. Just remember alawyerforus.com. For many lawyers you see on billboards, your case will be handled by a non-lawyer or a staff lawyer. If you call me, Jason Thompson, I will be the lawyer you speak with. The initial consultation is always free. If you or a family member needs an experienced attorney, an attorney you can trust, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 900-0400. That's 210-900-0400, or alawyerforus.com.
At Lowe's, save big every day when you buy in bulk. Save 10% when you buy 20 or more select self-leveling underlayment. And there's more. Save 10% when you buy 2 or more packs of 360 Trex Universal Hidden Fasteners. Visit us in-store or online for low prices on the materials you need. Because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location while supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details.
Around here at Wrangler, we are all excited for spring. The longer days, the warmer nights.
When you've got your pick of shorts and jeans, either works just fine. Blue skies, open roads. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
Get 5 quarts of O'Reilly Full Synthetic Motor Oil and a MicroGuard oil filter for $31.99 at O'Reilly Auto Parts. In-store only, limit supply.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
At Lowe's, save big every day when you buy in bulk. Save 10% when you buy 20 or more select self-leveling underlayment. Plus, save an extra 5% every day on eligible purchases when you use your Lowe's Business Credit Card. Visit us for the materials you need. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location while supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details. 5% offer subject to credit approval. Exclusions and terms apply. See store at lowes.com/credit for details.
Some people just know the best rate for you is a rate based on you with Allstate. And look at you, hands perfectly placed on the wheel, not like the driver to the right of you who's really going after that drum solo. Save with DriveWise in the Allstate app and only pay a rate based on you.
Not available in every state, subject to terms and conditions. Rating factors and savings vary, and in some states your rate could increase with high-risk driving. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Working from home, you realize you don't have enough outlets or USB ports. Hill Electric can fix that for you. For over 3 decades, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio homes and businesses. From adding an outlet, fixing that fuse that always blows, or that flickering light, Hill Electric has the right service at the right price, and there is never a service charge and always free estimates. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. That's 404-9074. Or go to hill-electric.com.
Hi, this is Joe Reinagel, and you're listening to the home of the Dallas Cowboys, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. This is the Too Short intro.
This is like fake Too Short.
Yeah, this is like this is T.O. Short. Like it's misspelled. It's like the Walmart Too Short. All right. I wanted to talk about Jordan Love and where we're at in his timeline, because we've hit it. It's time to probably pay Jordan Love for the Green Bay Packers. And his contract situation, so he became eligible for a new deal. What is today? A week ago today, he became eligible to be extended. That's the 1-year waiting period under the NFL collective bargaining agreement that ended. So they both decided they are going to. The Packers and Jordan Love decided we're both going to kind of hedge our bets here. 1 year, $13.5 million extension, and it can get up to almost $23 million, depending on performances, because they weren't ready to make the long-term commitment. He's a 2020 first-round pick. They didn't know if they wanted to pick up his 5th-year option either. Like it was that, so they did this instead of picking up his 5th-year option. Is Jordan Love going to be the next quarterback to get a mega contract?
Yes.
Is that the right thing to do?
What's the saying? An elephant is a horse designed by a committee.
I've never heard that.
When you think
explain yourself.
Well, the way that the NFL has gotten to the way that we pay quarterbacks is about the dumbest thing in all of sports. The way that the owners have manufactured this thing to protect themselves from themselves, but at the same time hold on to their talent, and this way that the next up mentality for the quarterbacks. Yeah, Jordan Love's going to be the next highest paid quarterback, and then the next guy after that will be the highest paid quarterback, and it really doesn't matter how much your output has been because we don't keep them around long enough to really know. So Jordan Love's in line. Here he comes. $300 million for Jordan Love. You know what? Which quarterback all 4 of the quarterbacks this year, 2 of them are going to get $500 million. One of the 2 of the quarterbacks that were drafted this year at some point will sign a $500 million contract. I don't know which one it'll be, but one of them will do it because it will be their turn.
Bo Nix.
Probably. It'll be the one that's probably the least deserving. And you go, and the statement will be
turn.
again, it's his turn.
This is an interesting statistical comparison. Jordan Love completed 64% of his pass, 64.2 last year, his fourth season in the NFL. 64.2. Player B, 63.6. 4,159 yards. Player B, 4,038. Jordan Love, 32 touchdowns. Player B, 28. Jordan Love, 11 interceptions. Player B, 13.
I'm trying to figure out who B is. I'm trying to correlate who this B guy is. I think I have an idea.
Jordan Love's record was 9-8. Player B was 6-10.
Oh, no, I had a different B.
This player B is season 4 of Aaron Rodgers' NFL career. So remember, Aaron Rodgers did a lot of what Jordan Love's doing. A lot of sitting, a lot of waiting. I don't think of Jordan Love as a guy who is on that trajectory.
No, that doesn't matter. The trajectory has nothing to do with this.
What could Jordan Love do this season? Like, what would Jordan Love have to be for the Packers to say, you know what? We're going to shake hands. We're going to move on. No hard feelings. And we're going to find another guy. Like, what would this season have to look like?
I can't
a
imagine,
disaster?
AJ. I can't imagine because if not him, who?
If they go 6-11 this year, they give him $30 million or $300 million or whatever it is.
You know, because I come at this from the prism of the Dallas Cowboys, who've got their quarterback who's about to run out the string, and we're talking about the max, 300 and plus for him. And the retort to everybody who says get rid of him is, well, if not him, who?
And that is the question. Jalen Hurts just got this same thing. After 1 year, I'm sure the Eagles are going, ooh, did we do the right thing?
Well, here's the good news about this. Because the quarterback market is so rapidly escalating, right after Jordan Love signs this $300 million deal, in 2 years, it'll look like a bargain. Because the next up after that will be even more so. So they all benefit from time will make this deal just like a bad real estate deal. Eventually, it'll be a good real estate deal. It's all a matter of time.
It is all very much, when is it your turn? And you like the best guy is not always going to be the highest paid. It's not. You remember Justin Herbert signed his deal, and I don't know if it might have been a week after Justin Herbert became the highest paid quarterback in the league. It was like $52.5 million per year. Joe Burrow signed his new deal, $55 million a year. And now when I say the highest paid player in the league, outside of Deshaun Watson, that's an outlier. I think it's the one I always say, that's a dumb contract. Everybody's going to learn from it, and then they don't. I really think the Deshaun Watson contract was such a disaster that everybody in the league said, we are never doing that. We are never going to do that. And I really think
tested that theory and found out.
Yeah,
nope, not going to get it.
But I think 32 out of 32 teams going forward are saying, no, we are not going to do that.
While we're talking about Jordan Love, and I think he's the perfect example of this because he's the guy that you can look at, and it's beauty in the eye of the beholder. I don't think he's that bad, and there is a possibility that he is exactly what Green Bay needs to go do it.
It's possible.
I don't think it's probable, but you have to pay to play.
Here is Jordan Love signing this 1-year deal to kind of bridge the gap and kind of make the decision. I think what happens with Jordan Love, a lot of it will be dependent on what happens with Dak Prescott. Because what happens if Dak Prescott gets $60 million a year? Does Jordan Love get more than Dak Prescott's?
Yes.
So if you know that there are guys out there like Dak, like Tua, who are, and that's another one. Is Tua about to become the highest paid? Like,
the longer you wait, the more you will pay. And that's the problem with why people cannot understand why Jerry would let the Dak Prescott thing get to where it is. Because with every clicking second, you're paying more money. Every time you wait one more day, $100,000 more dollars. Another day, $100,000. And he just keeps waiting because as soon as Jordan Love signs, as soon as Tua signs, there's the dollar value. It starts there.
And there's people, and I'm one of these people who say, once you get paid on that second contract, like Justin Herbert just got, like Joe Burrow just got, like the first time you pay someone like that, you're paying them because you think they're going to get to that level.
You pay on potential, absolutely.
The problem is Dak's gotten that second contract, and it's about to be the third one.
What did you call him? He's a scratched lottery.
A scratched lottery ticket. Kirk Cousins is a scratched lottery ticket. And it doesn't mean that Kirk Cousins can't be good enough to be a good quarterback in the NFL. And having a Kirk Cousins or a Dak Prescott is way better than having Gardner Minshew. But you're very limited in what your ceiling is. I'll give one exception, and my whole philosophy took a little egg to the face with this guy because I thought Matt Stafford was a scratched lottery ticket. I thought Matt Stafford was a good, solid quarterback that was likely never going to win a title, and he won one. So it's possible. It is possible that guys can, once they're scratched, you say, wait, that was a 3 instead of an 8 or something. I don't know.
But it had to be on another team, though.
It did. So I just look at this as,
who would you pay him? I mean, your GM, you look across the landscape. You've got a who's won playoff games, who seems to get along with his teammates and seems to be a team first guy, seems to fit in Green Bay pretty well. He's certainly not the best guy out there, but far from the worst. Would you pay him?
I think you have to, because there's the potential.
And that is what the NFL has to fix. You have to get past the have-tos.
And it's funny because I'm going to spin this into another story that I wanted to talk today, and I planned on talking about in a later segment, but I realized that, man, we got some stuff coming up. We've got that guest.
Yeah, we've got a crazy guest coming up at 8:15.
We talked to him yesterday afternoon. We stayed back and if you aren't familiar with what we're talking about, what day was that? Wednesday or Tuesday?
It was Tuesday. We were talking about it. He called Tuesday afternoon. We recorded it yesterday.
Yeah. So we talked on Tuesday about the NDAs and kind of the secretive nature of the Spurs new building. And it seems that we have a listener who is one of those guys who was under gag. And he said, I'll talk to you if you make sure no one knows who I am.
And as journalists, we have done that.
We had to get to the bottom of this. So we have protected his identity at all costs. It's almost like one of the guys who's like ratting out the mob.
Well, we are now duty bound. We're now duty bound by the Constitution. We cannot give up our source.
Yeah, he sounds like Bane in the Batman movies.
I'm
going to tell you
everything about this stadium. Could do this, but yeah, we have hidden his identity. You're going to 8:15.
And the bat can't stop me.
There's some questions that will be answered. You're going to be surprised by what really is going on behind the scenes as the Spurs are eager to get this thing done. There's some weird stuff going on.
So what we'll do to start the next hour is we'll kind of recap some of this NDA stuff, and then at 8:15, we'll bring our guest on, who Diego is what we're calling him. I'm going out on a limb and saying Diego's nowhere near his real name, but that's what he chose to be called.
We're using code names.
Yeah. So I'll go ahead and bring up the other guy now that we've got to talk about potential with. What do the Cowboys do with Trey Lance? Because they made an investment, and you can say, well, it's just a 4th round pick. A 4th round pick's an investment. Like, it's a pretty real investment.
It's a starter.
This is a tough call to me because Trey Lance is still an unscratched lottery ticket. And this isn't a guy like, because same draft class, you could say Zach Wilson, is he an unscratched lottery ticket? No, Zach Wilson is scratched and thrown in the trash.
Dented.
The difference is we've seen Zach Wilson and we know that he can't play. Like, there's no, like, maybe he can play, maybe he can't. I don't know. With Trey Lance, I think there is still some mystery. And there's, like, always the idea of, you knew when Trey Lance came, like, when he got drafted, you knew this was a project quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole idea of it was his ceiling is X. Right now, he's got a long way to get to it, but his ceiling is X. And that's like, okay. And we're not, the problem is, as fans or media members or anything, we don't know how far he is in the development to know how close he is to that ceiling or if he's ever going to get to it. And we're getting to the point now where the Cowboys have to make a decision, because if they trade him, let's say they wait till June 1st and trade him, they'll save $5 million. But the question is, do you want Trey Lance to be your backup, or do you want Cooper Rush to be your backup? And it puts the Cowboys in a weird spot. And this is specifically why. Because there's such a question mark around Dak. If you had to go into next year without Dak Prescott, would you rather have Trey Lance or Cooper Rush be your starting quarterback? I would argue, even though Cooper Rush has, and this is crazy to say, Cooper Rush has won more games than Trey Lance has, I'd want to play the upside. I don't think Cooper Rush can be a long-term starting quarterback in the league. I don't know if Trey Lance can be a long-term starting quarterback in the league. So if I say one of them, I'm confident he isn't it, and the other one, I've got no idea, I'd rather have the guy I have no idea about, right?
Man, if Trey Lance is playing quarterback, the whole world is blown up. You know what I mean? At that point, yes, you want Trey Lance. The future is not here yet, and neither Trey nor Cooper Rush will be a part of it. You know, but as far as this year, to get Trey Lance to be here when we would need him, which would be a year from now, the investment would be at the bare minimum. I mean, we'd have to pay him a brand new contract. They turned down his 5th-year option at $20 million, so that's kind of where the bidding would have started. Now it won't. Or they could save $5 million by letting him go. I just don't see how he survives. I think it's a numbers game. And speaking of numbers, they just took his number. You know, he was wearing 15. Zeke came back and they gave it to him, and they gave him 19. So not only did they not pick up his 5th-year option, they took his number.
This is the thing, though, about guys who get drafted where Trey Lance gets drafted. You will always get another chance. And you know who you can look no further than? Sam Darnold. I mean, can you imagine someone being as bad as Sam Darnold's been in his career? And like right now, Sam Darnold's probably going to be a starting quarterback week 1 in the NFL. And I mean, people are like, yeah, that makes sense, because Sam Darnold was drafted where he was drafted. If you're a 5th round pick and you have the career, let's face it, if Trey Lance was drafted in round 5, and this is what we'd seen of Trey Lance so far, Trey Lance would be out of the league.
Yes.
Like, and we'd never think of him again. But because you're drafted in the top 5, people are always like, well, let's give it one more shot and see if it's there. The only exception I can think of that rule is Josh Rosen. Like, they tried Josh Rosen. They said
he was a DB though, man.
They tried him twice and they were like, this guy sucks.
Yeah,
like, he's not even a backup in this league.
You know, we were talking about you were over at the Big Blind and you were playing in a blackjack tournament. And you said, you know, in a blackjack tournament, I'll split 10s.
Yeah.
Because it's a tournament. You got to be a little bit more bold. Fortune favors the bold.
Got to make moves.
Some teams out there
double that hard 12.
Well, some of them can double the hard 12s. There's teams out there that not only could, but should be splitting 10s. You better, you might want to keep Trey Lance around. We really don't know what he is. And where you are now, how is he going to hurt? And I think Cowboys aren't there yet. But we're getting awfully close to where, you're going to have to split a 10 here. You're going to have to risk something to go find, because where you are now, you're heading into the netherworld, man. Head coach gone, quarterback gone, probably not even close to a number 1 draft pick, and no prospects.
That's such a good analogy. Like, you do need to start taking some chances, because the way things are headed right now, like, if it's more of the same this year, what are you?
Split a 10, man. Maybe it is Trey Lance.
And I wonder if Mike McCarthy sees this year as a time when I've got to start splitting 10s, because let's just face it. And again, I stand by this. Like, the Cowboys got a gift that they won a playoff game. Like, this year, the Cowboys shouldn't have won any playoff games. They won a playoff game because
Detroit's stupid.
Yes, that's what Dan Campbell was like, trying to be the smartest guy in the room and ended up being the dumbest.
Fighting Texas Aggie.
But if they had lost in the first round, I think there would have been real discussion about if Mike McCarthy's going to be here this year.
No doubt. You're absolutely right.
If that happens again next year, or this coming season, I don't think there's any doubt that Mike McCarthy's going to be without a job.
Well, he's going to. They're going to fix the glitch. He'll play out his contract and go away. He and Dak will catch the bus off the star together.
So if it looks like things are headed that way, maybe Mike McCarthy's more apt to say,
why not?
Let me keep Trey Lance around, because if either Cooper Rush or Trey Lance is going to be good enough to be great, it's going to be Trey Lance. Cooper Rush is never going to be great. Trey Lance might not be great ever, but he's got a better chance than Cooper Rush does.
I have no doubt that his game film at South Dakota, better than any Cooper Rush film.
All right, we're going to talk about, on the other side, we're going to talk about this San Antonio Spurs Stadium arena, and at 8:15, we're going to bring on a special guest who has some real deep inside knowledge on this. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
On your ride to work, it's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson, KTFM Floresville.
There are a lot of benefits and blessings to living a life of gratitude. Our hearts are lightened and not so easily weighed down by the negativity we seem to swim in. We're more optimistic about life, less pessimistic, more enthusiastic, less resentful, more in tune with beauty. And the great thing about gratitude is it's something you can grow in every day. You can start a gratitude journal and write down 5 things you're grateful for each day. You can end each conversation with the words, I appreciate you, or we have so much to be grateful for. These are just a couple of things that you can start immediately, today, right now, to grow in gratitude. One other thing you can do is to take a moment to show gratitude to a person who has blessed your life by saying thank you to them. If you have a mother you're grateful for, when is the last time you told her? Or maybe it's a father, a spouse, or a friend. The thing is, we're finite beings on earth, which means that we have a finite number of days to say to them, thank you. This is Mark Absher with the MacArthur Park Church of Christ. Visit our church online at macarthurchurch.org. The MacArthur Park Church of Christ, connecting God and people.
Hi, everyone. If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, we have legal professionals standing by to answer your questions. They'll tell you if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth. Call 800-460-3550. So if you've been injured in an accident and think you deserve compensation, call now. Find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth. Call 800-460-3550 to speak with a live person now.
Advertisement sponsored by Legal Help Center. May not be available in all states.
What's keeping you from learning the language you've always wanted to speak?
Too hard. Takes too long.
Not with Babbel. Babbel's interactive lessons, podcasts, games, and more make learning fun.
Fun isn't hard.
Right. And in 10 minutes a day, Babbel's bite-sized lessons are designed to get you having real conversations in as little as 3 weeks.
That's not long.
It's not hard.
It's perfect.
It starts here. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Go to hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, and the process is 100% online. To start your free online visit, go to hims.com/joy. That's HIMS.com/JOY.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-330-2929. That's 800-330-2929. 800-330-2929.
Did you know that nearly 75% of people say family is their top priority, but only 50% have life insurance? Give your loved ones something they can count on with coverage through SelectQuote. When my husband and I went to SelectQuote.com, we had quotes from multiple carriers in minutes. Then, an experienced licensed insurance agent helped us find the right coverage for our budget. I'm 40, and my $500,000 policy was only $16 a month. My husband's also 40, and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. And with their same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. It's never too late to protect your family's future. Some policies are less than $1 a day.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-280-6262 or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-280-6262. 1-800-280-6262. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
San Antonio's Sports Star. San Antonio's Sports Center.
The NBA playoffs continue as the Mavs took down the Thunder on the road. Luka pacing them with 29-10. Final score 119-110. Series comes back to Dallas. The Cleveland Cavaliers bounce back to take game 2 against the Boston Celtics 128-94, paced by Donovan Mitchell. The series now tied at 1-1. Tonight, it's game 3 between the Knicks and Pacers as the series shifts back to Indianapolis. The Knicks lead the series 2-0. That's followed by the T-Wolves and Nuggets. The defending champs trail 2-0 to the T-Wolves. The tip is set for 8:30. In Major League Baseball, the Texas Rangers return to action today after a day off as they are in Colorado to open a series with the Rockies. First pitch set for 7:40. You can catch the game at ESPN 1250 starting at 7. The Astros avoided the sweep in New York with a 4-3 win over the Yankees. They open a series in Detroit this afternoon at 5:40. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Welcome in. If you're just joining us, been a busy morning here on the Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm AJ Hoffman. He's Rob Thompson. Yep. Taking you into work this fine morning, maybe on a Friday, maybe you're getting your ass out of town. Congratulations on that. I'll say this, Rob, I beat Waze today.
Doesn't that make your day better?
Man, it made me feel so good. I'm now noticing that Friday is a day that construction workers apparently take off. So there was way less construction on 35 on Friday morning at 3:45, 4 in the morning than there is on Monday through Thursday. So I'm going to take that as a win. It's going to put a little pep in my step on Friday mornings. I can tell you that, because when I was leaving the house this morning, I was like, about to go sit in it. I never stopped my car on I-35 this morning. So it's been a big win for me.
I'm glad the highway guys got a day, they're never going to finish the construction anyway. I mean, we're kidding ourselves like there's actually an end date to this. So take a day.
And I got big wins coming because we're headed out to Tri-County Meat Market later on today. That's going to be a win. They have beer at that place?
They do. There's a convenience store in the same strip center.
Okay.
So if you want to wine, beer,
but can we crack one there?
No, not overt.
Okay, so I'll be drinking Gatorade.
Well, that'll be you'll have your big gulp. That's all that matters. You'll have your styrofoam cup.
You know what? I have a hard time drinking beer out of a straw.
Oh no, that's for children.
It hurts me.
It should. You're bringing in all that carbonation.
Yeah, all those bubbles, man. I can't deal with it. So I can't. Yeah, I've got to have like a Yeti or something that I can uncork.
AJ, I just got the email. Legal says we are good to go at 8:15.
Okay, good. I just got the email. They said, AJ, you had all these giveaways to do and you haven't done any of them. Get your ass on it. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do what I did the other day, and I'm going to give some options to people. I'm going to make this easy on you, Vic. Caller 8 gets first choice. Caller 9 gets second choice. Caller 10 gets what's left. And then we got one more giveaway in the next hour.
What I would choose first in this.
The first item up for bids here on The Price is Right. That was my dream job, by the way, when I was a kid, was hosting The Price is Right. Yeah. It was. I had two career paths that I was certain I was going to get. I was either going to be the host of The Price is Right, or I was going to be on Saturday Night Live, and neither one worked out. And I blame Drew Carey. I feel
a lot of things, really.
And honestly, it feels like I want to say, like, man, if I was better looking, I would have had that job.
No.
But Drew Carey looks like hell. No. They started giving game show jobs to just regular famous people, and that's not fair because it should be a different genre. Like, letting celebrities become game show hosts is BS. I should have been a game show host, thus making me a celebrity.
Did you ever appear? Did you ever actually go on?
No.
Have you ever been on a game show? I haven't.
No.
I have friends that go to LA specifically with that purpose, and one of them won.
Did you see the documentary about that?
Yes, I did.
That's great, man. Yeah, you watch a lot of TV. We'll have a lot to talk about. All right. Item number 1 up for bids is a family 4-pack of tickets to see the Missions at Wolf Stadium, taking on the Corpus Christi Hooks. It's AARP $2 Tuesday, presented by 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. $2 tickets, $2 domestic beer, sausage wraps, cheese, pizza, or sweet tea. It's a lot of options there. So all $2 tickets. That's a good deal, man. And then $2 beer.
And we hate the Hooks. Hate those guys.
Screw them.
Screw them.
Item number 2, Bricks in the Wall, Sight and Sounds of Pink Floyd Aztec Theater. Win a pair of tickets to see Bricks in the Wall, the Sights and Sounds of Pink Floyd. That's June 22nd at Aztec Theater. And if you don't win them, you can buy them at Live Nation.
What do you think the average age of the ticket holder at the Bricks of the Wall show is?
54.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they have to put that on early because we all got to get home and get to sleep.
Yeah, man. And then Steel Panther, a little younger crowd, I believe.
Only slightly.
They are also playing at the Aztec Theater, though. Win a pair of tickets to see Steel Panther live at the Aztec Theater May 18th. So it's Missions game on Tuesday, Steel Panther on May 18th, or Bricks in the Wall June 22nd. 8, 9, and 10. 8 gets first choice, 9 gets second choice, 10 gets the leftovers. And that phone number is 210-656 ESPN, 210-656-3776. All right, we're about ready, man. Rob, give us give me the Cliff's notes of what's going on with this.
I've done a lot of things on the radio, and this is the first time we've ever done this. So we were talking about the process that the Spurs are in building and buying a new bit of property and building their new stadium. We know it's going to be down there where the Institute of Texan Cultures is, and that's been on the progress. Well, over the last week or so, all those that have been involved in the negotiations have been forced to sign NDAs, non-disclosure agreements, because the Spurs felt like things were getting loose as negotiations were going for the purchase and building of this new building. We talked about the whole thing on Tuesday, and when we got off the air, we got a call from what we found since then is a legitimate source that's kind of behind the scenes with some rather interesting thoughts, or not thoughts, some information on the process that's been going on behind us. And now we kind of find out why there's been NDAs.
some of the stuff he said was shocking. I'll be honest. There's some of the stuff that he said, and when you're listening to this, I think there's going to be times where you're like, I don't believe that's true.
I certainly doubt it.
I took a step back and I was like, there's no way this is real.
But he checks out.
But again, I don't know. I mean, you're way more plugged into the scene than I am. You've been here forever. I'm just the new guy in town, so I'm going to take it what he says at face value. But I will say there's some things when you hear them, at least me as an outsider, and I think even you as an insider, when you heard them, you were like, really?
That's why the NDAs are in effect.
It really is fascinating stuff. So Diego, Mr. Diego, I don't even know what we're calling him. Diego.
Well, he chose an interesting name, nom de plume, but he didn't want to be known, and he was kind of afraid. He was a little afraid because of some of the decisions that those behind the scenes are making and some of the partnerships that are coming down the road.
Like, do you think the Spurs would put a bag over his head and take him out to the desert?
Well, there's a couple guys we've never seen again.
Like Joe Pesci in Casino?
You never know, man. You go out to the desert, only one comes back.
Wow.
Well, it's not the desert, it's the hill country.
Yeah, but I mean, there's lots of holes in the hill country.
There certainly are.
Now, I mean, and there's been guys that one day they were San Antonio Spurs, and then we've never heard from them again.
Given the decisions that they've made, I think he has a legitimate concern to keep his anonymity safe. And we will endeavor to keep that. In fact, we are constitutionally protected from giving up our sources. So if the Spurs do take some umbrage, or those others that are involved, as you're going to hear, he's protected on our end at least.
Like, I think about some of the guys that were once part of that organization, and then it was like, yeah, that guy's here, and then he was gone. And it's like, where did he go?
Danny Ferry went crossways with us.
Do you remember Rasho Nesterovic?
Rasho.
Where's he at?
I haven't seen him since.
I haven't seen him. I'm not saying that the Spurs put a bag on his head and murdered him. I'm not saying they didn't. But
we don't know.
But what you're going to hear on the other side of this break is going to make you wonder what's going on in this city, in this organization. We're about to turn the world upside down with what you're going to hear at 8:15. That I can promise you. So that's what you're going to hear on the other side.
Yeah, wait for this. This is something interesting.
I hope you guys enjoyed. This is a rare peek behind the scenes. It is the Morning Huddle right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Uh-oh. Vic.
Oh, you know what? We went to break while he was giving away prizes.
We got to go to commercial, Vic.
Stop being nice to our listeners.
Look at me in here. This is Vic all the time telling me to break. Vic, it's time to go to break.
Stop being nice.
I said 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Boom! It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on the Blitz, we are out of the studio at Tri-County Meat Market, the Huebner Road location.
It's Mother's Day. Come by, get a lot of free samples, and make sure you get what you need for Mother's Day. Plus, we'll talk NBA playoffs. John Machota from The Athletic, and you can meet our new morning guy. AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson will join us.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The Angie's List you know and trust is now Angie, and we're so much more than just a list. We still connect you with top local pros and show you ratings and reviews, but now we also let you compare upfront prices on hundreds of projects and book a service instantly. We can even handle the rest of your project from start to finish. So remember, Angie's List is now Angie, and we're here to get your job done right. Get started at Angie.com. That's ANGI, or download the app today.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Over the past decade, the Roof Hub has proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the UFC fights. And when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and certainly the best place to watch a game. The Roo Pub is next to the Angry Elephant and in the same plaza as the Big Blind. There at 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Hi, my name's Jason Thompson. I've lived in San Antonio for more than 50 years. Went to grade school, high school, and graduated from law school right here. San Antonians have trusted me as their attorney after serious injury and fatality collision since 1994. My website is alawyerforus.com. Why a lawyer for us? Well, after several years of practice, I watched as insurance companies created their own law firms solely to defend against auto claims. Today, there are very few insurance companies that do not have their own captive law firm filled with attorneys whose job is to minimize what the insurance company has to pay on an auto claim. If you or a family member is injured in a traffic collision, you will need your own attorney. Just remember alawyerforus.com. For many lawyers you see on billboards, your case will be handled by a non-lawyer or a staff lawyer. If you call me, Jason Thompson, I will be the lawyer you speak with. The initial consultation is always free. If you or a family member needs an experienced attorney you can trust, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 900-0400. That's 210-900-0400 or alawyerforus.com.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
A Gain Scent Bead story. Jim was at the laundromat when he heard his ear said, "Maraca, senor," but his nose said, "Hey, freshest scent ever." Following his nose, Jim found a man pouring a bottle of Gain Scent Beads into the washer. The scent, the freshness. Jim blurted, "Sir, your scent Maraca smell amazing." Actually, Jim, most noses call them Gain Scent Beads. Try Gain Scent Beads. Way fresher than detergent alone.
Joe Reinagle here. I want to tell you about something that has completely changed my life. I had vision correction surgery at Parkhurst New Vision. The results are amazing. The readers are a thing of the past. Hey, if you're like me and tired of those glasses, call Parkhurst New Vision at 210-585-2020. They offer a variety of services like vision correction surgery. So call Parkhurst New Vision, 210-585-2020, or get them online at sanantoniolasic.com.
You want another way to add excitement to watching the NBA playoffs? Jason Minix here. Let me tell you about Underdog Fantasy. It is a fan favorite way to play fantasy sports, especially playing the pick'em game, where you pick between 2 and 5 players to build your pick'em entry, and all you have to do is select higher or lower on player stats. If your picks hit, you can win up to 100 times your money. Endless projections to choose from. It is fantasy and it is legal in Texas. So get started by going to the easy-to-use Underdog Fantasy mobile app or go to the website underdogfantasy.com. Sign up with my promo code STAR and Underdog will give you a mystery special pick to use on your first pick'em entry and a deposit offer. Must be over 18 and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Again, sign up using my promo code STAR at underdogfantasy.com.
You're listening to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
All right, we are back on the Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, and I'll go ahead and introduce this because this was something that we did yesterday, so I'm not going to pretend like we're having this interview live. I hate when people do that. We talked to him yesterday, and let's go ahead and play the interview yesterday. Rob introduces the guest there. And enjoy this discussion. This is about the San Antonio Spurs new stadium.
Now we have he's on the hotline, right? The secret phone number. He is okay. AJ, the other day we had a great discussion about the brand new arena that's going to be built, and we talked about the NDAs that had been released. And after we did this, AJ,
I enjoyed that talk, by the way. It's awesome that you have such a deep knowledge, and you're a really well connected guy, and I think that's kind of what's gotten us this interview, which I think is going to be very telling for what's going on.
And what we've had to do some things around the Star that we've never done before. So this is not supposed to be discussed. There is an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement that has been in force for just about everybody that's been involved with the negotiations to build this brand new stadium downtown where the Institute of Texan Cultures is. And we've gotten very lucky. We got a call on Wednesday afternoon after we'd gotten off work. And I followed up, and we've got him on the line. Now, he's a little nervous.
Rightfully so.
And he should be. I mean, the powers
that
that
get in
be.
a lot of trouble here.
And so we've disguised his voice. But a rather strange request. He didn't want to just be like, I wanted to call him like Deep Throat or a cool code name. He came up with his own. I'd like to welcome on the show Diego Chismosos Esquire. Now,
he is an attorney.
Well,
amongst other things,
he might be. Yeah. I don't want to give away who he is, but right. Esquire might be that, and we're going to find out exactly where we stand. He's really kind of skittish, though, so we're going to ask him the questions. Everybody, kind of be cool, and we'll hold your calls till the end. I'm sure we're going to have a lot of questions. So here we go. We're going to talk about the. Well, this is going to get controversial, I'm afraid. The brand new arena. I'd like to welcome on Mr. Chismosos.
Rob, AJ, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure being here on your program on the Sports Star.
First of all, I'd like to congratulate you on your bravery for stepping forward. I know this is a rather tricky situation that you find yourself in, and I'd like to also congratulate you on your efforts to make sure that the San Antonio citizenry are informed. So I'm going to start with the broadest question. Where do we stand, and how far away are we from actually seeing this building?
We've run into a couple of problems, Rob. One being that the site has some issues. Have you ever heard of the Alazan Apache Court?
I have.
The Alazan Apache courts are built on ancient Aztec Indian grounds, as the name would suggest.
And how does that affect the stadium? Can't we? I mean, they built something over it right now.
Well, during some excavation, we've discovered bodies. Now, some of these bodies seem much fresher than you would expect to find in an Indian burial ground. I would say they are not ancient. Some of them date back to the 1990s and have tattoos that would suggest gang affiliation, but we can't be sure that these are not, in fact, ancient Aztec relics. And we had decided early on in this process, we don't want this building to be cursed. We've sacrificed several animals and poured the blood out to try and make sure that any gods are satisfied with the site that we've chosen.
I commend you on doing this, because we've seen this happen to other teams.
Are you sure this is? I mean, are you listening to what he's saying? You know about this Alazan?
Well, you know what? I've been around this city long enough to know most big deals in San Antonio are not done unless a shaman or a curandera is involved. So this is a pretty typical thing.
Is Alazan Apache courts? Is it known to be on an Apache burial ground, or is that?
Here's the problem. I think that he's still on hold, right? Don't let him go. I think the problem with this is he doesn't understand that this is really was it was a public housing area right there off of what was then known as what was then known as Durango, now Cesar Chavez. That was a public housing. So the bodies he's finding probably not Native American. They'll probably local, and we probably need to do something.
Yeah, clean those up at least before. We can't just put a stadium on it.
No, because then there's the bad mojo. But anyway, so that makes some sense. Now I understand why we kind of slowed things down, because we got some dead bodies on the ground. But that can't be the only problem. Let's bring him back on. Is he still able to talk, Vic? I'm talking about, I want to represent the sports fan and the taxpayer now. Where are the discussions on how we're going to fund the new building. And I also want to know what the name's going to be. Is Frostbite going to transfer, or is there another new name? But first, I don't want to pay much. How are we going to pay for this thing?
We've got some unique funding ideas, and we've decided that any drugs that are confiscated in the city limits are now going to become part of the Spurs Fund. And we are looking at ways to, now this is going to hurt other, like often you see these funds allocated to police, diminish the police force, and put this money toward the stadium. So what we're doing now is what some are calling an incentive program. I can't get too into detail on this because I did sign an NDA, but we're welcoming any drug dealers who want to come do business. San Antonio's doors are open to you. We want your business here. We are going to try and take some of your profit, but we will leave some for you. We've got to build a building, and to make an omelet, Rob, you've got to break a few eggs. So if there's a little bit more drug use in our community, it's okay, because we're going to have a state-of-the-art downtown arena in the Buc-ee Center, and this is going to be state-of-the-art, Rob. You've never seen anything like what they're building with the Buc-ee Center.
The Buc-ee Center. What did you just say that this is going to be called the Buc-ee Center? I thought we didn't know what.
Did he say Buc-ee's? I think he did.
Like as in the gas station Buc-ee's?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I thought that we were looking at keeping the Frost, or it was unknown if we were looking for a major sponsor.
There's been a lot of talk about concessions, and if you haven't had it, the chopped beef barbecue sandwiches at Buc-ee's are just as good as you can get at most barbecue shops around town, and we thought that should be represented. We think there's a real opportunity with a basketball that's painted like a beaver nugget. Being able to dribble that down the court is a great corporate sponsorship opportunity. So it just opens up a lot. Buc-ee's has become a big brand. It's starting to spread outside of Texas, and this is a way for us to really work with a local Texas company and grow together. But I can't get into a lot of detail because, of course, the NDA. In fact, just forget that I said any of that stuff about Buc-ee's.
We're talking with an attorney.
This is crazy, Rob. I don't
want to get you too deep in water your first couple of weeks here.
I feel like the cops are going to come in here.
So, but what he is telling us is, so far we found some dead bodies, maybe that might be a historical in fashion that's going to slow some building down. A unique funding idea, which I'm about breaking some eggs, cracking some eggs, and thinking outside the box.
Inviting drug dealers into the city, is that what we're doing?
Think of the profit margin. Think of the and I'm not having to pay extra for a rental car. So
this is absurd.
Are you still there? Okay. Diego, one other question. So many of us grew up going to the Institute of Texan Cultures. Any thoughts on tearing down a museum for a basketball court?
We looked into it, and it turns out all the stuff in the museum is old. So we thought, if we could have something shiny and new, what's the purpose of keeping all this old stuff? And really, I couldn't think of one. A lot of the other guys involved, I like to call them the big swinging D's. D is short for something.
Diego, maybe.
I signed an NDA, so I can't tell you what the D is short for, but you could probably put two and two together. But the big swinging D's decided new stuff better than old stuff. We want to be a new modern city. We've got to get rid of some of the old stuff. We found a building full of old stuff in this museum and thought, let's just move on. Let's start. A new San Antonio requires getting rid of some of the old San Antonio.
Diego, I have to ask the question when you talk about old stuff, is Pop's kind of old. Any thoughts about how this transition will go? Will Pop be around, you think? Or have you heard? Will Pop be here for this new stadium?
Pop is playing a major role in the discussions. He's done a really good job for us. Pop has a lot of political pull, and Pop is aware right now the way the country is, building a building like this would maybe be foolish. So we're waiting until Trump's elected and the interest rates go down, and with this way we can get a better deal on the stadium. Pop is almost certain that interest rates will drop and we can get more bang for our buck, so to speak, once Trump's elected into office.
I'm starting to understand why this is taking so long.
I'm not understanding any of this, Rob. This is, like I said, this is crazy.
Interest rates and Pop, I saw this thing going a lot of different ways. I didn't see it going there. So as we sit, we're trying to get we've got the shaman and the curandero. They've already taken care of the bones. We've got a brand new method of funding this thing that will involve border seizures and seizures of drugs in the city to actually fund the building of the
inviting like cartels to come into the city.
Well, better keep them close, I guess. Then the Bucky Center, which might be the news of the day.
That is big. I don't know that the NBA is going to allow the basketball to look like a beaver nugget. I don't think they're going to go for that.
Think of the bathrooms. Think of the bathrooms that we will have in the Bucky Center. Every seat might have its own bathroom.
And they'll be clean. That's nice.
I guess we only have one real last question for Mr. Chismosos Esquire.
I don't think that's his real name at all. I've never heard of that Chismosos.
I'm starting to worry that it's an NDA. We can't go any further, and we are going to protect him. Is this going to happen? Do you believe, as we sit right now, we're going to have a new Bucky Center for Wemby to play in before he signs his next contract?
More than likely, but there has been discussion about potentially trading Victor Wembanyama for cash considerations that could help fund the arena. Would you rather have a player or an arena? To me, the answer is clear. If you have a player and no arena, where does the player play? This is simple math, Rob and AJ. The Spurs have figured this out. If we can't get enough drugs into this city, we may have to move on from Victor. But I can't say much more because I have signed an NDA. In fact, I need to get off this call. I've got another meeting about the Bucky Center coming up. I appreciate you guys taking the time to talk to me. I appreciate you protecting my identity. Obviously, that was very important to me. And please, don't tell anyone what I've told you. This is all off the record.
Well, we've been on the radio this entire time, Mr. Diego.
I think I might have recognized his voice. I'm not going to out him. I think I know who it was.
I didn't realize this was live.
Shocking. AJ,
this is insane.
We're going to have to check up on
and he hung up.
A couple of our sources. Your calls, what do you think?
This is your
Bucky
source.
Center?
This is your source.
I didn't know he was going to go this far. I
Mr.
thought the
Lawyer
NBA
guy
would preclude this. I'm shocked. We can't wait to hear from you. AJ, what are we doing here?
We got to go to a break. So we'll be back on the other side. I don't even know what we're going to discuss on the other side, but we will be back. There's way more to this than I ever knew. We'll talk about it here more right here on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. It is the Morning Huddle.
94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Eric was way behind on his taxes.
I owed a lot of money to the IRS, almost $15,000. I tried to make payments.
The IRS wasn't satisfied with Eric's efforts, so they came after him full force.
They're coming to put a lien and a hold on all my income, my home, my car. I was just overwhelmed at what to do.
Then Eric called Optima Tax Relief.
When Optima Tax got involved, the calls would stop, the threats would stop. It was easy like 1, 2, 3.
Optima Tax Relief is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and their team of expert tax professionals took care of Eric's problem.
I owe $15,000, and now my debt is clean. I don't owe anything.
Take Eric's advice.
If you have a tax problem, you need to call Optima Tax now.
Call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-714-8422. 800-714-8422. 800-714-8422.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
George gets justice. If you've been injured, get George, because George gets justice. With over 100 years of combined experience and a relentless dedication to your case, the attorneys at George Salinas Injury Lawyers will fight for what's right. If you've been injured and it's not your fault, get George and get the compensation you deserve. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice. Getgeorge.com.
Hey, it's Rob Thompson here for my favorite game app. It is Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app. Heck, I'm just one of 3 million active users. They're the easiest to play. They're the most exciting way to play your daily fantasy sports. And it's unlike other apps. On Prize Picks, it's just you against the numbers. You're a fantasy player. You know when it's more. You know when it's less. Up to 100 times your money according to how you play it. $1,000 on basketball, hockey, and college basketball entries. Today is the time to play. You can turn $10 into big money quick. The biggest moments in professional basketball are happening right now, and it's no fun unless you're playing. Go to Prize Picks right now and remember the code Alamo for your first deposit match of up to $100. That's the code Alamo. Prize Picks fantasy. You're playing already. Go win. Download the Prize Picks app. Use the code Alamo, and up to $100 deposit match is coming. Prize Picks. Pick more. Pick less. It's that easy.
If you're looking for $500,000 to $1 million or more of affordable term life insurance, we're Term Provider, experts in finding affordable term life insurance for those that may not be in perfect health. Prostate cancer, heart conditions, high cholesterol, or on prescription medications, you may still qualify for $500,000 to $1 million or more of affordable term life insurance. Call Term Provider at 800-337-4168. 800-337-4168.
If you need bold banners to boost your business, but you're on a budget, think Staples. Posters, flyers, signs, and menus for less? Think Staples. Staples can print anything you need to move your business forward. Now at Staples, save $50 on your print purchase of $150 or more. Same-day service available on hundreds of items if you order by noon. And all backed by Staples' Print Perfect guarantee. So it's done right or it's printed again free. Staples, your local print and marketing expert. N61, visit staples.com/print for details.
Do you have unfiled tax returns or being threatened by the IRS that your wages are about to be garnished or bank accounts are going to be levied? You need an ally. Allies Tax Relief has professionals ready to fight for you. Their enrolled agents, tax attorneys, and CPAs have saved millions of dollars for taxpayers just like you. They won't just resolve your tax problems. They'll most importantly protect your wages, bank accounts, and all your assets from being taken by the IRS. Call for a free consultation. 800-230-5174. 800-230-5174 or go to alliestaxrelief.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
This is Jason Minix from the Blitz, and you're listening to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. Rob, that was different.
Yeah. I don't know what to say. I don't know what's true, what's not.
Our text line, the brigade, they're like the brigade seems angry at us. At least a lot of them.
The guy checked out.
A lot of the text line says this is incredible that we were getting this information.
Well, you know,
I don't know what to believe. All I know is, listen, we're not in charge of what the guy said. We just told you we're going to bring you what he said, and he said what he said.
It explains the NDAs.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want people talking about that either.
Yeah, but listen, it's
we're going to keep on this. This isn't going anywhere. We're We're going to have a meeting after the show. I can tell you this.
Yeah.
Should be a fun afternoon. But hey, again, he checked out, and some of this stuff had made some sense.
I mean, some people are saying the Aztec courts, that sounds legit. I don't know anything. I've never even heard of that. So I don't know.
Well, I mean, he knew things that only guys on the inside would know.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Oh, well. Some people believe it was fake.
I can't imagine. Why would anybody imagine that we would offer anything fake?
How you would think something like
I am shocked.
That would be fake
and aghast that we would be accused of misleading or even attempting our fine listeners.
All right. We talked about the NBA recaps. We didn't really get into I'll ask you this before we get away from the recaps. Is your mind, like you said, Porzingis not important enough that you think the Cavs have a chance in this series, right?
The Celtics are going to. They're too talented to lose this thing, and maybe you need to shake the snow globe a little bit for them because they have a tendency to play to the level of the team they're against. That's always been Tatum, and it's always been Brown, and it just went on even before Mazzulla got there. I mean, that's even Brad Stevens had a problem getting this team up for teams that they should easily handle. That being said, when you're talking about a guy like Donovan Mitchell. I mean, a guy could catch fire and go Jalen Brunson on you, and suddenly you're
for sure
win 3 straight games. So I'm not putting it out of the realm, but no, I think it was more an attitude adjustment than a scheme and a talent concern.
Yeah, I'm not. When you asked who's likely to go 7, the Thunder and Mavs, I can see it. Would it shock you if that was the last game the Cavs win?
No, not at all. Because
if the Celtics turn it on, it's over.
I can't imagine, because the separator in that game was a guy who came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And when a big comes out of nowhere, the opportunity for him to do that again, because it always takes 2 for a big to succeed, him and the guy who gives him the ball, as opposed to one guy can succeed like Jalen Brunson, because it's just him. I'll grab the ball, I'll go get it. So the chances of Mobley doing that again are probably pretty slim.
Well, the separator was in the Mavericks game was PJ Washington. Is he likely to do that again?
Well, we'd like to think, right? If you're a Mav fan, I don't know. You hit open jump shots. You're supposed to do that.
You
as
hope
a pro,
so,
right?
Yeah.
But the gravity that Luka offers with with one leg and bloody lip and everything else that goes along with it, that's why you go get Luka.
Yeah.
And you get a guy like Washington. Do I expect him to go get 29 or whatever it was last? That ain't going to happen again.
No, I can't imagine. And also, I mean, I think Kyrie had 11 assists or something like that. He was very passive.
Now, what do you think? Can he play a role in this? Do you think Kyrie can, maybe win a game? I mean, that's why he's there.
I don't think that's why he's there. I think Kyrie's there to win a game if Luka has to miss a game.
Okay.
I think right now Kyrie understands that being support staff is his best path. And if Luka were, let's just say hypothetically, Luka were to fall down on his face in the middle of a basketball game and hurt himself. Now, that would never, ever, ever, ever happen. But if it did, and they said, hey, Luka's got to miss a game with a bruised rib because he fell down and was unable to put his hands out to stop himself.
Or unwilling.
Yeah. So he's got to miss a game. Now, Kyrie, they're like, hey, you need to do what Luka's been doing and just take over the game.
You and I think the same, because I could envision a world where they come back, win first game in Dallas, and Luka continues to decline physically, and they have 2-1 lead, maybe take that home crowd, add a Kyrie, and let Luka watch. And can you envision? Well, I should put it this way: can you envision the Mavericks ever doing anything like that? Because I can't. But if they were to do it, up a 2-1 at home with a Kyrie advantage, maybe that's the time you give him a night off.
I don't think so.
No, I can't imagine.
I don't think so.
Without him, they're nothing.
If they'd won 2-0,
yeah,
maybe if they'd won the first 2 games, but no.
That just shows the arrogance of the T-Wolves. Rudy, take the night off, brother. Go see the
baby.
We're good.
I mean, come on. He had a baby. What was he going to do? Stay around and defend the best player in the world?
They didn't need him.
They didn't need him.
Big cat. Go
let the
see
guy,
the baby.
let him live his life. Now, if he has another baby in game 4, there's going to be some problems. You're only allowed to have 1 baby per series, Rudy Gobert. Actually, anybody.
I was going to say, there's probably a couple of guys around the league that might need to pay attention.
Well, Listen, what you can have one. I think one per playoffs is about all should be allowed. I'm not saying one per season, but you need to time it out better. Where,
well, like where on the Nick Cannon scale do you want him to land? I mean,
give me Turban Nick Cannon. Like what? I'm not Nickelodeon Nick Cannon or whatever it was. Like that was like.
Well, so a Turban was he at like 8?
I think easy.
Was that
like
Turban?
once he turned into Turban Nick Cannon was like, yeah, I just wear turbans now.
I'm so confident in my abilities. I just can leave the house in a turban.
Nick, is that religious? No,
it's
a turban. I just wear a turban now. Well, do you want to explain it? Why does anybody else have to explain their fashion? No, this is what I do.
And make babies.
Yeah. That's hey, God bless him if that's what you want to do. Taking a look at the other two series, they both get underway tonight. I guess we'll dig into them deeper on the lines, the daily lines in the last hour. But let's talk about this. I think tonight, if the Nuggets lose tonight, could they get swept?
Let me tell you,
because doesn't it feel like they're close to quitting anyway?
I feel like they are on the cliff staring into the abyss. And because a loss tonight, the ramifications not only go through this season, but this team.
Yep.
I mean, because the Timberwolves are a younger version and they were built to beat them. You don't have a counterpunch. This is all you got. And if you can't do it now, you ain't going to do it next year.
Yeah. And I'm telling you right now, this will and again, if let's say they get swept and Jokic continues to struggle the way he has, people are going to go into next season and go, we can't give this guy another MVP. Like this is,
and we saw the barely adequate psycho defenses that Jamal Murray has. I mean, he couldn't stand one bad game. He's throwing crap on the court.
Dude.
Wait till you're down 0-3. Does he have it to step up and do it? He's going to have to prove it right now. I'd say no.
And losing those home games, that team is in trouble, man. But we'll get to that a little later in the program. We talked yesterday about the Ohtani gambling scandal. Did you know, and I mentioned earlier, you like TV. I like TV.
Very much.
You know there's going to be a TV series about this?
What?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Get out of here.
Yeah.
How are they going to do this?
Lionsgate Television announced yesterday that Tony Award winner producer Scott Delman, who his Broadway credits include Mean Girls and The Book of Mormon, is serving as executive producer on Station 11. He also was on Station 11. And former SI reporter Albert Chin, who wrote the book $1 Billion Fantasy, a sports gambling book, they are behind the project, which at this point doesn't have a name. But they said this is Major League Baseball's biggest gambling scandal since Pete Rose, and at its center is its biggest star, one that MLB has hitched its wagon on. We'll get to the heart of the story, a story of trust, betrayal, and the trappings of wealth and fame.
Now, who's the money behind this? Who's producing this? I want to know where is the money coming from?
Lionsgate Television.
Okay, so I wonder who owns Lionsgate, because this could be either, an expose, or it could be a actual complete whitewashing rationalization funded by somebody with the Dodgers and somebody with baseball. Let's put out what we pretend to be an investigative report to cover up this.
So, they own Stars, the television station Stars.
Okay.
And obviously like Lionsgate Films as well. So, I mean, they make a lot of movies.
Okay.
This is a big time company. So I just don't know if there's any kind of, if there's any nefarious stuff behind it. I'm not sure.
It just seems so fast, and I guess as his interpreters already pled out.
Lionsgate made the John Wick franchise. the Twilight franchise, and the Saw franchise.
So they got a little bit of money on there.
They got plenty of money. Plenty.
I feel like baseball would just soon move on from this. So I don't think they're behind this. I think they just
course they
be
want.
very quiet. Unless, of course, they go act like this is real and say, yeah, everything that you read, that he did all this and he lied and Ohtani is a functioning idiot.
They don't want to talk about this anymore. Listen, the bad guy just pled guilty. He's going away.
Let's play baseball.
He's gone. The good guy is still here hitting home runs. That's a good guy.
Now, is this going to be as a guy who's watched my fair amount of true crime. My wife is a fan of true crime, so I've watched enough of it. Now, there's two kinds of true crime. There's the one where they interview the pertinents and they have B-roll footage, but mostly it's the voice and the pertinents. And then you have the true crime version where it's the reenactment.
Yes.
I hope this is the reenactment. I want the reenactment Ohtani with his interpreter and his interpreter asking him for $60K for dental work. His interpreter asking for the computer codes and all. I want to see how that really went down.
That's exactly what this is going to be.
Oh, please, thank you.
This is like Winning Time.
Oh, yes.
This isn't like a documentary of the Showtime Lakers.
This is what the world needs.
This is a scripted series, like with this guy's playing Shohei. This guy's playing the interpreter Ippei Mitsuhara. So yeah, this is exactly what you're looking for.
This has massive potential.
I think so too. I mean, I'll watch it. So count me in amongst the people who are going to watch this. Now, listen, I don't know if I wonder if there's going to be, and you know what? I don't think there can be any kind of cease and desist that could stop it or like say, nope, you're not allowed to do this.
No.
I mean, I'm sure
as long
MLB
as we don't
would
go
love
to
it.
libelous or slanderous land, and I don't think you can.
Because did you see the one about the Pamela Anderson lead, the sex tape thing? What was that called?
Oh, it was the live action one where
it had Seth Rogen.
Yeah, I forget what it was. It wasn't the dirty or anything.
It was like where he stole. It's basically it's like what we're talking about.
Yeah.
It's like a scripted reenactment. But I know Pamela Anderson did not want that to be made because she didn't want it brought up in the news again.
Right.
Like she's trying to forget that she had a sex tape with.
But who really can?
Who can? Of course. And you know who doesn't want the world to forget that sex tape?
I wouldn't either. Tommy
Lee.
Wave that flag, baby. Raise that ball.
My goodness. What a man. Those who didn't see that, Rob just stuck up his elbow and to his elbow to fist.
That's it, man.
No wonder he was such a great drummer.
I'm serious. He never always had a stick.
Yeah.
One flew away, always had one hand.
And when you can play with three instead of two.
That's how the bass drum was played.
Yeah.
He didn't even need his feet.
No. Like some people play a double kick drum. He played a triple kick drum. Well, how do you play a triple kick drum unless you've got a third leg?
There you go.
What?
More
He was able to do it. But yeah, I love that kind of stuff. I forget what that show was called, but I loved that. I loved Winning Time. I love Hollywood reenactments of real life things. So I think I'm going to love this show.
I can't imagine how they're going to portray him stealing the banking codes.
I mean, Shohei. I need to borrow $60,000. Why? Bad teeth. I've got a cavity.
And I need to borrow it by kickoff noon.
And Shohei says, do cavities cost $60,000 to fix here?
See.
Can you believe it, Shohei? I think they're sticking it to me because they know I'm not from around here. And Shohei says, listen, don't make any waves. Here's $60K. Just go ahead. No big deal.
Go get your mouth fixed.
I'm never going to ask you about this again.
Oh, by the way, what's your account number?
Okay, where do I get that from? Just take my ATM card. The code is 1111.
I wouldn't be able to do this in a PC way.
I hope they don't.
I could not do this in a PC way.
I mean, I'd be okay if they don't do that.
I just picture sweaty face and weird accents, and I just
I wish Judd Apatow was directing this.
That's what we need, somebody with a little bit of leeway to go do something truly special.
But then there's people who if you take something that they think is serious and you try to make jokes, they get all their feelings hurt. Like, hey, this is serious stuff.
Right. Not enough time.
Everybody's too serious these days. Everybody should lighten up and have some fun. People are so against fun. It's like, no, they got to tell the real story. It's got to be serious. What is this, comedy hour? Like, just have some fun. If they want to if they want to make this a comedy, let them make it a comedy. Sports doesn't have to be so serious, right?
And a Buc-ee's Beaver Nugget basketball is a pretty good idea.
You're going back to the last thing. We're getting. I mean, I still don't believe that. I still don't believe.
I'm just telling you, it's a pretty good idea.
I don't get it. All right, guys, 1 hour left in the morning huddle. I'm having fun today. I know some people aren't. I'm having fun. I hope you're having fun.
Lighten up, Francis.
If you're not, light one up or start day drinking. I don't know. Whatever it takes. Get yourself there because it's almost the weekend, baby. We got 1 hour to go. I got a story about someone getting hit in the face with a salami coming your way in a little while. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You're listening to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. KTFM Floresville.
Spring has sprung and it's full tilt boogie time at GiveMeTheVin.com. I'm overpaying for cars because I think they're going to go up even higher from where they are right now. We'll pay off your payoff. We'll pick your stuff up. We'll quote you quick and easy at GiveMeTheVin.com. America's best car buyer. Go there right now, and if I don't beat a CarMax offer, I'll send you a check for $100.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
The Golf Club of Texas has some of the best course conditions with the friendliest staff. The golf is great. They have lighted driving range and practice area. While it feels like a country club, it's not a private club. It's open to the public, so bring the family into the Tin Cup Bar, the nicest sit-down restaurant in that area of San Antonio, specializing in Texas food, wine, and spirits. For golf or dinner, go to the Golf Club of Texas off Highway 90, online at golfclubtexas.com. The Golf Club of Texas, the friendliest golf course in Texas.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Whether this is her first Mother's Day or her 40th, she deserves more. Shop tons of stunning on-trend jewelry for every budget at Diamonds Direct. Diamond fashion jewelry, beautiful birthstones, everyday pearls starting at just $200. Commemorate the real loves of her life with a gorgeous pendant featuring the birthstone of the one who made her mom. This Mother's Day, Diamonds Direct is everything you need to say thank you. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion. Online at diamondsdirect.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Go to hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, and the process is 100% online. To start your free online visit, go to hims.com/joy. That's HIMS.com/JOY.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer whenever I want? Can we sleep cooler? Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. 94% of Sleep Number smart sleepers report better sleep. And now save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed, plus free home delivery when you add an adjustable base. And Sunday. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
Eric was way behind on his taxes.
I owed a lot of money to the IRS, almost $15,000. I tried to make payments.
The IRS wasn't satisfied with Eric's efforts, so they came after him full force.
They're coming to put a lien and a hold on all my income, my home, my car. I was just overwhelmed at what to do.
Then Eric called Optima Tax Relief.
When Optima Tax got involved, the calls would stop, the threats would stop. It was easy like 1, 2, 3.
Optima Tax Relief is A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, and their team of expert tax professionals took care of Eric's problem.
I owe $15,000, and now my debt's clean. I don't owe anything.
Take Eric's advice.
If you have a tax problem, you need to call Optima Tax now.
Call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-714-8422. 800-714-8422. 800-714-8422.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free, with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. hims.com/joy.
94.1 FM.
San Antonio Sports Star.
San Antonio Sports Center.
The NBA playoffs continue as the Mavs took down the Thunder on the road. Luka pacing them with 29-10. Final score 119-110. Series comes back to Dallas. The Cleveland Cavaliers bounce back to take Game 2 against the Boston Celtics, 128-94, paced by Donovan Mitchell. Series now tied at 1-1. Tonight, it's Game 3 between the Knicks and Pacers as the series shifts back to Indianapolis. The Knicks lead the series 2-0. That's followed by the T-Wolves and Nuggets. The defending champs trail 2-0 to the T-Wolves. The tip is set for 8:30. In Major League Baseball, the Texas Rangers return to action today after a day off as they are in Colorado to open a series with the Rockies. First pitch set for 7:40. You can catch the game at ESPN 1250 starting at 7. The Astros avoided the sweep in New York with a 4-3 win over the Yankees. They open a series in Detroit this afternoon at 5:40. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hour number 4. It's our last hour of the week. No, it's not. Damn. We're going to do an hour
it's the
with
last
you.
official paid hour.
It's the last Morning Huddle hour.
Yeah, we're doing some gratis work later, introducing you to the
Thank
world.
God it's the last hour, because according to some people in the chat, this episode sucks. What?
Well,
you think, Rudolph says this episode sucked, and y'all know it. And you're trying to save face by making about people who are not having fun.
I know.
Huh.
Rudolph, are you still there? I bet you are.
And Rudolph says, we like trolling you guys. Imagine thinking that you're trolling us by listening all morning to something that you say sucks.
Damn.
Who's trolling who? You're like, imagine, Rob, you watch a lot of TV. Imagine you turn on a TV show and you hate that TV show.
Before I turn the channel, AJ, I write a strongly worded email and inform them of my distaste, and then I leave.
Yeah. And then you come back the next day and you say, man, this still sucks.
And I write them yet another strongly worded email, and I will wait for tomorrow for you to improve the product, but I'll be back.
I wish that last show that was on before this one would come back. But yeah, you're trolling us,
yes,
Rudolph.
Thanks, Rudolph.
Yeah, you're getting us real good.
Morning, Vince. You missed some fun.
Well, good morning, everyone. Good morning. I'm having fun. I don't care, honestly, if Rudolph doesn't like it. I'm sorry.
Don't come at us the last hour of the last show. Of
We
the week.
we can't worry about it.
Mm-mm.
We've got good things going on, man. We've got good things going on. And what's called letting.
Yes.
Listen, Goldfinger.
Sorry.
I love you, man. I feel like I've seen some. I don't get to read the chat as much during the show because it's hard for me to do the show while I read the chat. But feels like Goldfinger seemed like he liked most of the show, and then
we're doing our best.
If one 12-minute segment ruins the whole show for you, then man, sorry, you're a tough cookie.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd want to be your friend,
but I love all you guys, and
hey, but Mr. Chismoso,
hopefully you come around.
His name was Diego Chismoso,
and what does that mean? I don't know.
It's about what you think it is.
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
I'm not as in as you are with some of this stuff. So sometimes you say things, I'm like, I don't even know what that means. There's some San Antonio lingo that I'm going to have to learn. There's a lot of people who were reaching out, talking about Rasho Nesterovic and where he's at now.
Where is he?
They say he went back to his to the motherland, which good for it. We think that, or maybe that's what they want you to think. I don't know. Does he have a Twitter? I don't know. Like
I can pretty much
prove to me that he exists.
If Rasho had a Twitter,
prove to me that he exists.
We're not sure he did. That was the problem.
Oh,
he got a ring, didn't he?
Was he on the Kawhi team?
That was pre-Kawhi.
Was it? That was
right around there.
He was like 04, 05 probably, huh? I bet he got a ring.
If you hung around more than 3 years, you got a ring.
I think so. Oh yeah, he beat the Pistons for sure.
He was 05.
He was on the Pistons team.
Yeah.
Or the team that beat the Pistons. So yeah. Ring. I wonder if they buried it with him in the desert.
No, they kept that. that you can find out on eBay. That's also going toward the funding of the new Buc-ee's arena.
Oh, look at that. So you know what? Somebody. Now that's what we count on the chat for.
Rudolph.
Nesterovic was a Secretary General of the Basketball Federation of Slovenia from November 3rd, 2014 until his resignation on July 11th, 2023, when the Spurs had him murdered.
What? He disappeared. He went on to become the Secretary General of Basketball in Slovenia.
Yeah, that's cool.
Respect given.
I just took a random Spur and like a random guy that I remembered from my youth and said, what happened to that guy? Have you ever heard from him again? And someone said, yeah, I have actually. He's the prime minister of basketball.
Catapulted into greatness.
You idiots.
In the greater Caucasus area of Europe.
You idiots. But we are idiots, and that's okay.
And you're welcome in.
Yeah.
Idiots.
And we hope there's some idiots to join the program. At least that's my hope. Boy, speaking of idiots, this story blew my mind because
now I haven't heard this.
Well, oh man,
we're not doing
the
that
salami one.
See, I hadn't heard this one.
I'll give you that one too.
Promise us that later.
God, that salami
Uncle
story.
AJ.
I missed an opportunity for such a golden joke on the way out last segment, but it was the hard out. So the ESPN music was playing, but I said I've got a story about someone getting hit in the face with a salami. But I didn't say, besides Pamela Anderson.
Oh!
And like we had just talked it, and it was there for the taking.
You got to land the joke is the problem. You got to land it. You overshot the runway, man. You didn't.
That was a whiff on my part, and I apologize because that would
apology required.
I'm apologizing to you because that could have been like
the fortune favors the bold. Every now and then you got to swing for it, and sometimes you're a little late. It's okay.
So, like that was a check swing, is what it was. And the problem is I checked, and then as soon as the mic went off, it hit me. And I was like, I should have swung at that pitch. Damn it. Like when you walk away and you know he rung you up, you know it.
That was
and you don't even have to.
And I just lost.
You don't have to wait. Okay, so I don't want to badmouth any city here in America because I love America. As you know, Rob, I served this great country.
Yes, you did.
Served it proudly. And I love all of America, but the Northeast part of the country is probably my least favorite. And if you said, what's your least favorite city in this country? For me, or I shouldn't even say that because I haven't been to the city. What's your least favorite people group from a certain city? Like, is there a certain city where if you find out someone's from this city, you're instantly wary of them?
Not all Bostonians.
It's number one. You just said mine. Like,
not all Bostonians, but there's a
most.
certain segment of Bostonians that I have an extraordinary distaste for.
I'll be honest. It's also something to do with the way that they talk.
Some of that, yeah.
And I don't care. You could be Scarlett Johansson. If you talk like a girl from Boston, I lose any sort of sexual feeling towards you immediately.
I'm gonna need you to whisper.
There cannot the hottest girl in the world, if she talks with that Boston accent, I'm
it's
yeah. But Philly guy is right there behind him for me.
But Philly guys, the thing about Philly guy is they aspire to be something greater. They have the little brother complex in New York, and so they're aspiring. Boston thinks they're it. Like you think you're it. You legit think that you guys are the center of civilization right there as a Southie. That's who you are. Okay. And there's no convincing them.
So I'm against Bostonians and then Philadelphians. And then I love everybody else pretty much. Yeah. But this woman who lived outside of Philly, lives outside of Philly, she's a huge Phillies fan. Much like Diego Chismoso, she's asked to keep her identity anonymous. Good. She doesn't give her name in this story. But she's dealing with some health issues. She's battling Parkinson's, which God bless her. That's a terrible thing. And she says back in July, there were people bad-mouthing Trey Turner on social media. Trey Turner had a down year last season. I'm a big Trey Turner fan. I don't know about you, but like he's one of the guys that's like the most fun players for me to watch. Yeah. And much like because I don't like Bostonians, I don't cheer for Boston sports teams. I typically don't find myself cheering for Philadelphian sports teams either. But Trey Turner to me is a likable ball player, and it's like, man, I want a guy like him on my team. I like that guy.
When he was in that, I was down.
I'm
in.
But she came to his defense. And then someone on Facebook reached out to her, and it turns out it was Trey Turner.
Oh.
Trey Turner reached out to this lady and said, hey, I want to talk to you more, but I'd really like you to download Google Chat so we can take this conversation to the next level.
All right, this is getting weird.
And she's thinking, okay, that is odd. He writes me back at night and says, oh, thank you for your encouragement. Because of you, did you see how many hits I got?
Oh, my.
I got a standing ovation, and that's all because of you, baby. And she said, I started to wonder what's going on here. And then he said, oh, I love you. And she said, what? I'm 70 years old. I have varicose veins older than this guy. She says the messages got more personal and strange, included photos of Turner, his wife, and his children. So imagine Trey Turner saying, hey, I love you. Here's my family. He was relentless, she said, but he was convincing. And I think he made her feel good about herself. He made her feel wanted. And listen, a 70-year-old lady,
good for him.
They've got needs too, Rob.
Well,
you ever gone silver?
We all have our kink.
Okay. He kept harping on it for about 3 weeks. And she said, he kept repeating things that I know Trey Turner did on the ball field. So finally she said, well, what do you want from me? What's going on? And Trey Turner told her, hey, things are going bad with the wife, and I need some help with some of my various properties to kind of keep it quiet. So what I need is some money, and I'm going to move around some money in accounts. And if you can help me out with this, I'll be good to you. Like maybe you want season tickets, you want the stick, like I got you, girl.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, I believed him. And then she gave him $50,000. Vic, can you look up what Trey Turner's contract that he signed with Philadelphia was for? Because I would imagine it was I don't even know if his first game check, if he didn't get taxed $50,000 on it. I mean, but she gave him $50,000, and then she realized, I'm starting to think I'm getting taken advantage of. I'm starting to think this isn't even Trey Turner, and it turns out it was not. And the woman got a little bit of her money back, but not much of it. She said he was so this is the best line, because all of the things she says right here are wrong. He was so convincing. I'm not stupid, and he got me. Okay.
Well,
I just want to warn people, be careful of this. I'm still financially fine. He didn't ruin me. He didn't win. Well,
he kind of won.
He kind of won.
So
11 years, $300 million.
Tender? I mean, is she accustomed to this?
She was cruising Facebook.
So this was just a Facebook thing.
Yeah.
It stayed on Facebook, and then they started Google chatting.
And Trey Turner, he's a good-looking guy.
So it's basically the Nigerian prince, but now he is he's
Trey Turner,
Philly, second baseman.
Yeah. So don't give $50,000 to people who make $28 million a year if they ask you for it on Facebook. That's probably not really them. That's not how they go about their philanthropic. That's not how they raise money for charities and things like. Hey, you got $50K on Facebook? Help me out. I'm having a fight with my wife,
and I'm going to hide some property under your name.
Don't buy into it. Just because you're an old horny lady, and you're trying to get some, Well,
if Trey had told me how many hits he got for me, I might,
If
he pointed toward me in the screen and gave me a little heart.
That's all because of you, baby.
If he did that,
did you see that tonight? I got a standing ovation.
I might give some.
That's on you, girl. You did that for me, baby. Oh, Trey,
you handsome devil.
All right. On the other side, I'll give you the salami story.
Send you some of my Depends.
I'll give you the salami story, and I'm gonna throw up in my mouth. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on the Blitz, we are out of the studio at Tri-County Meat Market, the Huebner Road location.
It's Mother's Day. Come by, get a lot of free samples, and make sure you get what you need for Mother's Day. Plus, we'll talk NBA playoffs, John Machota from The Athletic, and you can meet our new morning guy, A.J. Hoffman, and Rob Thompson will join us.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash.
Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
A Gain Scent Bead story. Jim was at the laundromat when he heard his ear said, "Maraca, senor," but his nose said, "Hey, freshest scent ever." Following his nose, Jim found a man pouring a bottle of Gain Scent Beads into the washer. The scent, the freshness. Jim blurted, "Sir, your scent Maraca smell amazing." Actually, Jim, most noses call them Gain Scent Beads. Try Gain Scent Beads. Way fresher than detergent alone.
Hey, poker players! The Big Blind official grand opening celebration continues into the weekend with 10K tournaments through Saturday with $500 high hands every half hour from 2 p.m. to midnight and a 5K Texas free roll on Sunday. Plus daily blackjack tournaments. That's right, blackjack tournaments every day. Down from the Roo Pub and the Angry Elephant at 281 in Redland Road. Get over to the Big Blind for the official grand opening celebration. Learn more online at thebigblindsa.com.
Dave Ramsey here from my friends over at Connecticut in San Antonio. Trust me, Connecticut water systems are the best of the best. I personally have one in my home. All those other water softener systems out there are junk in comparison. Connecticut uses less water and runs on kinetic energy. So there's no computer to break, fewer moving parts, and it works only when you need it. It was even voted most efficient water softener in the world by the Water Quality Association. The team at Connecticut San Antonio can test your water, install a system, and provide treatment all without stepping a foot inside your home.
I'm Chris Canepa of Connecticut and San Antonio in the Hill Country. I'll let you try a Connecticut quality water softener for 90 days absolutely free. Call us at 656-PURE, that's 656-7873, or visit us on ConnecticutSA.com.
And tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
Call 656-PURE, Connecticut.
You're locked on the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's showtime!
It is showtime. It's the Morning Huddle here on 94.1, San Antonio's sports star. Thanks for making us a part of your day and a part of your week. What a fun week it's been, at least for me. Not for everybody, but for, I don't know.
I'm good. Vic, you good? Vic's good.
I'm good.
All right. That's three of us.
Vic, he has to say that because Vic forgot to send us to break one time.
Yeah, it's my fault.
And now he's forgotten to turn on the YouTube stream.
Wow, Vic. You'd think it's Friday.
Like, yeah, man, you'd think it's a two-man job in there or something. Like, I don't know what the hell is going on, but he'll get it. He'll catch up. He'll catch up with the times. Are you a soccer guy?
I want to be.
Do you? You say you want to be a soccer guy. You want to be a hockey guy.
No, I would aspire, actually, if given the two, I'd prefer to be like a Premier League fan. I would like to have a sporting event that I could go home and watch on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at like noon. I think that's pretty awesome.
You know what's not awesome about it, though, is like I think sometimes those guys wake up at like 6 a.m. on Saturday to go watch games.
Yeah,
that sounds
I'm
terrible.
not doing that. But, for a guy that you are now adopting this lifestyle, and, when the Premier League is really kicking, they got games at like 2 o'clock, like a Wednesday afternoon.
Yeah,
it's not a bad
true.
thing. I wish I was more into it.
Bayer Leverkusen.
That was pretty good.
Butchering. You think so?
I think.
I don't know. They won the Bundesliga title, and they're doing something I think is pretty cool. You have any tattoos?
A few.
Okay.
Not overt like you. Well, yours aren't overt, but mine aren't but huge. They're small, kind of.
Okay.
Around certain places.
Do you have any that are sports related?
I have a Spurs logo on my shoulder.
Do you really?
I got that one on air.
Did you lose a bet?
Oh, no, it was more I won the bet. If we win, I'll do it.
That's what these guys are doing.
Mm-hmm.
Bayer Leverkusen are offering fans free tattoos to commemorate their championship winning season.
I would be first in line if I was a Bayer Leverkusen fan.
You would, yeah. They won 40, or I shouldn't say they won. They were unbeaten in 49 matches, 49 straight matches, which is it broke the record that was set from 1963 to 1965. So the club, the football club is offering free tattoos to fans who want to do it.
Do I get to pick the tattoo, or are they giving it to me?
They've got a variety
okay.
of options that you can get a tattoo for.
Could I get them all? Like, could I get in line, get one, come back and get another? I mean, I figure this isn't going to happen again.
I think so. So you made a commitment that you were going to get a tattoo of a Spurs logo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it was 05, in fact.
Wow.
Well, the crazy, now you say that, then finding a way to actually get the tattoo done and have my station allow it to happen became the obstacle. So we found, keep in mind, this is back in 05, a long time ago, ancient times. We found this dude that was with a motorcycle club known as the Banditos.
A gang?
Well, this is a club.
Right.
And he had this portable tat kit that had been manufactured, I think, in Gatesville prison, and brought it with him to the studio. And my brother and I were doing radio at the time. So he got his, and then I got mine. But he got his from another dude that had his own homemade little tattoo thing. And I got mine from another. My brothers got wildly infected, like MRSA type stuff. I mean, It was bad. Mine turned out okay, but you're running a risk when you have a guy named Loopy, and that was his name, Loopy, from the Banditos, come in and give you a tattoo. Oh, he was of the persuasion.
I got my first tattoo when I was 16, and it was on a homemade machine in my buddy's garage. It was made with
me, man.
Using like a guitar string and a tape recorder. Like he made, and I was like, this is never going to work, and it worked. And that tattoo's long since been covered up, but it's like because it wasn't done very well.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's you could do it. You know what? I'm making a decision right now at 9:25, my first week here.
All right, let's hear it. And we need to have a board, like a decision board, a promise board.
If the San Antonio Spurs win a championship at my time working here at the Sports Star, I will get a Spurs tattoo as well.
I think that is a worthy pledge.
And because I told you, I don't have a commitment to any NBA team.
I keep trying to pin him down. He really doesn't.
I don't care. But if now I want to choose my own adventure. I don't know if I want the spur with like the
I think we should get to pick it.
Maybe it'll be the coyote. I don't know what it'll be.
Appreciate that.
I don't know what it'll be. Maybe it'll just be Wemby's face.
An alien.
Yeah, I don't know. An alien wearing his jersey. It will be something to commemorate the championship.
Mark the tape, Vic.
I'm willing to do that, but you know why I'm willing to do that? I want to become a part of the San Antonio culture. I want to prove that I'm about that life. So I'm committing to it now, Rob. If they do it, I'll get one.
I appreciate it. There's already been a couple of suggestions crawling across the bar there. Maybe like a Spurs teardrop.
I will not get a face tattoo. I can't do that. I'm not.
How about with neck? Is there any place nothing above the shoulder? Well, so you stopped.
I already have like collarbone.
But you stopped. You didn't.
Anything above the neckline is off limits.
And you kind of went to your elbow. Would you ever sleep?
I'd go all the way down. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. I don't mind that. Like I don't think I would. Like I feel like if I'm wearing a suit, people should know I have tattoos.
That's a good.
And
point.
I don't judge anybody who does that. But like
you say you don't, and I don't either until now. This is a true story. Long story short, I'm in a bank. I'm in a new state. I'm moving. I'm in a bank, and the banker, we're sitting in his office. I'm transferring like my entire life savings, moving accounts.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, we're going to print some stuff out. He has a printer behind him, and he's like, I'm going to get the stuff. And he turns and reaches over, and as he turns like this, under his suit collar comes a rebel flag right on his neck.
Now, I will judge the tattoos you have. That's different, but I won't judge where you put them.
Neck tat and banking probably in the best place.
Probably not the best. No, I agree. Now, we chose a line of work that
pretty free to do
doesn't
whatever
really
we
matter.
want. Yes.
If I come in tomorrow with a face tattoo, it's not gonna affect the whole lot.
It would be a point of conversation, but it wouldn't limit your career.
Right. But it's just not my style. I wasn't born handsome.
Oh, well, some would beg to differ.
So I'm already working with a short deck, and the last thing I want to do is
mark the day.
is put some ink on it, because that ain't gonna make it. It's not gonna improve what I'm working with here. I just don't think it's gonna work out. But yeah, I'll get the job done. I'll be like you. I'll be on the team.
I think it would be a worthy. Now the good news is you got some time to figure out what the design would be.
I think so.
Years. I think we've got some. The clock isn't imminent. You're not going to have to get it, but I think it's a worthy chase. And you know what? I firmly believe, and this is no joke, that you will end up getting it.
You think so?
Mm-hmm. I do.
Maybe I'll get it on my foot.
No, don't get the
like a real spur.
Don't get the chocolate tat. Nothing down there. No.
Okay. How about like maybe on my shin, on the front of my shin?
No, that's a brave move.
Okay.
But you're a tough son of a bitch.
I got to figure out what it'll be.
On your shin, man. That would hurt like fire.
Did any of your tattoos particularly hurt?
The one on my shoulder blade did, yeah.
Okay.
If anything, the proximity of a bone seems to be.
My whole back is like I have I won't say a mural, but it's like a pretty big back piece across my shoulders. And I just remember that one, like you had to sit still for a long time, and when it would hit your spine, like it didn't really hurt, but like your fingers would pop out, and it was like uncontrollable actions. But when I got my I got tattoos on my collarbones, and those are the ones that hurt the most.
Awful. Yeah. There's yours. Mine are mostly about the size of maybe a 50-cent piece. I don't have real tats.
Your biggest tattoo is how big? Bigger or smaller than your fist?
It's not the one on the back of my neck, but it's smaller than my fist. It's a little bing, bang, bang. I've got 4. Nothing that took more than an hour.
I have a big body, so I feel like if I put a small tattoo on it, it looks crazy.
Yeah,
so if I get a Spurs tattoo, it's probably going to be like,
I get it.
The size of my hand, probably. I just don't know where it'll be.
But for me, it was time. I just didn't want to commit the time. Like, how long for this one? 4 hours? Got anything shorter?
It's going to happen. And you know what? I'm going to find a listener who's a tattoo, and we'll do some.
I guarantee you this one.
Oh yeah. All right. We're going to break. When we come back, we're going to check out the daily lines, which means we're going to dig into these basketball games tonight. 2 teams in, let's face it, let's call it what it is, desperation mode with the Denver Nuggets and the Indiana Pacers. We'll see if we think either one of them survive the weekend. It is the Morning Huddle right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1.
Hi, everyone. If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, we have legal professionals standing by to answer your questions. They'll tell you if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth. Call 800-460-3550. So if you've been injured in an accident and think you deserve compensation, call now. Find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth. Call 800-460-3550 to speak with a live person now.
Advertisement sponsored by Legal Help Center. May not be available in all states.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
A clue.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent.
Aha.
So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. Tide cleans better than the leading competitive free detergent, and it doesn't leave behind irritating residues.
Plus, Tide Free and Gentle has no dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on her skin.
Case closed.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle.
When was the last time you went to the dentist? Need a new dentist? Hi, Jason Minix here. Go see my dentist at Smile Structure Dentistry and Braces. Smile Structure can handle all your dentistry needs, from general dentistry to oral surgery, orthodontics for the kids, or Invisalign for adults. Mention this ad, get a free exam and x-rays. Veteran owned with 5 San Antonio area locations. Learn more and book an appointment online at smilestructure.com. That's smilestructure.com.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Diego.
Hi, Diego. It's Jennifer Coolidge. I just want to say your cashback match makes me feel so special. It really inspired me.
That's great. Doubling the cashback you've earned at the end of your first year is what we do.
Well, I'm doubling everything now. Double dating, double dipping, double feature, double header, double whammy. Basically double or nothing.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
Silence is golden, especially when it comes to brakes. That's why Napa Silent Guard are built to be one of the smoothest and most quiet brakes on the market. Made with fiber-reinforced shims that eliminate noise for the life of the pad. Rubber-coated hardware for a better fit, and quality design that meets and exceeds OE performance. Silent guard brakes deliver the stopping power drivers demand. Available now at Napa locations nationwide.
Experts claim there is nothing tougher than a diamond. But at Diamonds Direct, we beg to differ. Have you ever met a mother? Strong, radiant, timeless. This Mother's Day, give her the gift that meets her match. With diamond jewelry starting at $200. Plus Diamonds Direct's exceptional quality and unbeatable everyday price, you're sure to give her a gift that wows this generation and the next to come. Experience the thrill of jewelry shopping done right at Diamonds Direct. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion. Eric was way behind on his taxes.
I owed a lot of money to the IRS, almost $15,000. I tried to make payments.
The IRS wasn't satisfied with Eric's efforts, so they came after him full force.
They're coming to put a lien and a hold on all my income, my home, my car. I was just overwhelmed at what to do.
Then Eric called Optima Tax Relief.
When Optima Tax got involved, the calls would stop, the threats would stop. It was easy like 1, 2, 3.
Optima Tax Relief is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and their team of expert tax professionals took care of Eric's problem.
I owe $15,000, and now my debt is clean. I don't owe anything.
Take Eric's advice.
If you have a tax problem, you need to call Optima Tax now.
Call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-714-8422. 800-714-8422. 800-714-8422.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
This is Joe Reinagle. You're listening to the home of the Aggies, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
McDaniels just say.
That's what I say. Final segment of the week here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, the Morning Huddle. Love being with you guys this week. I think I'll stick around, Rob.
You might as well come back.
I got nothing.
We promised to work on the roads.
I got nothing better to do. But I really have, despite what I was saying earlier, forget what I said earlier. The listeners have been great to me. I mean, sometimes they're going to think I suck, but that's part of the gig. But for the most part, everybody in the office has been great. You know, but it's just been it's been an awesome first week. I'm stoked to be here, stoked to be a part of this thing.
Well, we're a cult. We're going to lure you in.
I got big plans for the Sports Star here, Bubba. I think we're going places, man. I really do. I think we're going places. You want to go with us, Vic? Vic, he's busy. Yeah, maybe. He might. I don't know.
Sir?
Oh, yes, sir. He said, all right. Thank you.
That wasn't him.
Oh, I promised you a story, so I'm going to do that before we get to the daily lines.
Salamis?
It will involve a salami.
Tell us more, Uncle AJ.
A man who was arrested for striking his wife in the face with a piece of salami.
Well, is that first of all, I guess that's a criminal offense?
He was charged with battery.
Oh, okay.
He was charged with battery and resisting. This was following a New Year's Eve domestic fracas.
That is a fracas.
This is in, I want to say New York State, but I'm not totally sure.
It's a good salami.
Oh, no, it's in Florida. Of course it's in Florida. 57-year-old man arrested for striking the victim in the face with a thrown piece of salami.
Like a slice or a chunk?
Sounds like a slice. I'm hoping it's like the kind that you bought it in a stick and you sliced it yourself, so you made a thick slice. Because if it's the thin slice salami, I mean, if you call the cops about that, there's a real issue. But now the woman said that earlier in the week he had shoved her, so there was already like
so they're already ill will.
When they went to question him, he was belligerent and unable to be interviewed about the incident. They could not get him. They said he was resisting getting in the squad car by using dead weight. He's a 240-pound man. It's so funny to hear, like, a 240-pound man. He was just they couldn't move him. And then I think to myself, I weigh 240
You're kind of
pounds.
describing me.
Yeah.
A 57-year-old man at 240. There's a fair amount of dead weight there.
Yeah. But he had to write an apology letter to the deputy, and he had to do an anger management course. If he abides by some of the conditions, which include peaceful contact with the victim, he may have prosecution deferred.
Good.
But his explanation was he had sky-high blood pressure. He's like, I'm back to my normal self. I was at 241 over 228. I'm now down to 120 over 190.
His BP was 241 over 128?
No, 241 over 228.
Good God. Okay.
And he says, sorry for the inconvenience. But they don't say for sure if it's the salami that was causing it.
Like I say, it's the cured meats might be the problem.
It could be too many cured meats. So I'm not really sure what caused it. But he's working his way back.
You know how mad a 240-pound, 57-year-old man would have to be to throw a piece of fine cured meats away
at his wife?
That's justified. Obviously,
how mad would you have to be at your wife?
Pretty damn mad to chunk a good piece of cured salami.
Like,
yes.
What would you be mad to the level like if she came home from work and she was ready to go to like let's say a big event where you guys were going to dress up and have a good night out,
something like that, yeah.
And she said, I don't want to go to this. And you're like, what? I thought we were going.
Right.
Would you be that mad?
I don't know how I could get that mad because those kind of things aren't that big a deal. But but I can see gathering enough anger to slap a piece of salami on somebody.
All right, let's take a look at the daily lines.
Let's do this.
It's the Morning Huddle's look at the daily lines with AJ and Rob on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You covered, yeah!
The New York Knickerbockers. They are on the road, hitting the road, up 2-0 against the Indiana Pacers. This opened at 5. It now sits at 7. The Indiana Pacers 7-point favorites, and in fact, I see a book here where they are 7.5-point favorites.
Up to 7.5 on one.
And I can tell you where that move came from. I think there's two things playing into it. I think one is OG Anunoby announced out for this game. We talked about this a little bit. We said in Game 3, if you're the Knicks, do you consider with your two best players clearly hobbled, just having them rest one? And I'll be honest, once they said OG is sitting out, I would certainly sit out Brunson too.
And it's his foot that they're talking about resting, yeah.
Because think about this, Rob. If you've got your top two guys are both beat up, one of them's going to rest, you're talking about putting more workload on the other one. I'd rather just say, let's punt this game. I know it's the playoffs. I know it's probably not optimal strategy, but I think if I'm the Knicks, I would sit Brunson and OG and just say, hey, man, if you guys get us in Game 3, we're coming back Game 4.
Let me tell you, the Pacers are going to have a very friendly reffing squad tonight. Yeah. The calls are going to go in their way, as most time when you're at home. But I think even more so after, 82 instances of malfeasance that I am sending to the governor. I think that it's probably a wise move. You are going to be playing 5-on-8 anyway. You might as well play 3-on-8.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. But I don't know. I can't say for sure the Knicks are going to do that. No announcement yet on Jalen Brunson. But I can guarantee the line has moved those 2 points on the news of OG Anunoby.
So what does that take your over-under at?
It's now at 222 and a half is the consensus. It opened at 225. It's gone down, which is funny because when you think of OG, you think more of what he does on the defensive end than anything else. So him being out of the game, if anything, I'd think there's more scoring. But I also think there is a shade to Brunson being out. And if Brunson doesn't play, I don't think there's going to be 223 points scored in this game.
Money at 240 on the Knicks.
At 240?
Plus 240.
No, I'm not interested in that because, like I said, I think they're sitting everybody.
I'll be honest, I don't like anything at this game.
I don't think I do either. I think there's too many questions. I think that and that includes the Knicks' effort and motivation. Not to say that OG is like malingering or anything.
No.
I don't think that's the case. I think they're legitimately beat up, and I think they need to rest. The other game, the Nuggets are at the Timberwolves. The Nuggets are down 2-0. The T-Wolves are now 4.5-point favorites over the Nuggets. My, how the tides have turned. But the T-Wolves won both games in Denver as an underdog. And there's something, Rob, in betting these NBA playoffs that they call the zig-zig-zag. And once a team gets down 2-0, the average Joe who's walking up to the sports book with $100 bill in his hand is saying, Team A is better. Like, of course I'm betting Team A. They're up 2-0. Why? Like, what's going to change here? The thing that changes is desperation. And we just talked about it with the Knicks. The Knicks aren't desperate. So they're in a position where if they need to, they can play the long game. The Nuggets are desperate. I think the T-Wolves are going to continue to play desperate, but I think you're going to get the Nuggets' best effort here, which makes me like the under in this game. I think this is going to be a grimy defensive game. The total set at 205. I think that this stays under. I think the first to 100 wins this game. And I don't know who it's going to be, but I think 4.5 is too much. This opened at 3. If you'd said Timberwolves -3, I think I would have liked -3. But I at 4.5, you're getting out of my comfort zone. But I think this is a lower scoring game. So that'll be my favorite NBA play tonight is under in the Western Conference game between the Nuggets and T-Wolves. You like my logic there?
I do. I'm going to add some gas to this. Murray's hurt. Bad calf. Game time decision. Caldwell Pope. Also game time with an abdomen. Minus in either one of those guys. I don't see how they find 100 points.
Yep. So there you go. On the ice, we got a couple games. Florida versus Boston. I'm going to be honest. This feels like I hate to say it feels like free money. I just saw Florida win 6-1. And now they're just a -120 favorite.
Did they win the fight after the game, really?
They kind of broke it up. It feels like, Boston threw probably more punches, but it didn't last long enough to prove to have a proven winner. But I like Florida at -120. I just think that they are overwhelming this Boston team. Total there is 5.5. And then Edmonton, Vancouver. This was after Edmonton blew a massive lead. And now they're the favorites once again.
So you like I'm writing stuff down. 5.5 for the previous game. You like the over?
I don't like either side of that. I was just noting what it was. And Edmonton, Vancouver. It's the Oilers are -120. The total is sitting at 6. So I would just think Edmonton, after blowing a massive lead, like they did to Vancouver, where they gave up 3 goals in a 4-minute and something span, and they were up 4-1. They lost 5-4.
Either one of these teams destined to do anything? I mean, are they just playing to lose in the next round?
It wasn't thought to be that way, but I mean, I joked about this earlier. Teams from Canada never win the Stanley Cup, so one of them's gonna have a chance to play for it. Edmonton has arguably the best player in the whole wide world. So it seems like they're live, but man, this is, I would say that kind of loss that they just had would be crippling. It feels like I wouldn't want to show up and play all that hard the next day. I don't have a great feel for it. If I did, I would play Vancouver. I just feel like, if I were Edmonton, I'd be maybe a little bit mentally beat. On the diamond tonight, Framber Valdez goes for the Stros. They are -128, looks like, about the consensus. Casey Mize going for the Tigers. The Astros kept themselves from losing 3 straight to the Yankees. They were able to fight back and win one. Josh Hader closed one down without giving up any earned runs, which that's unique. I think he lowered his ERA from 1,000. John Gray goes for the Rangers tonight. They are minus 180 at Colorado. Total in that game, 9.5.
Easy money, baby. Go get it.
Austin Gomber going for the Rockies. You got to go over 9.5.
You got to go get it, man.
The Rangers bats in Colorado. What could go wrong? So my assumption is the Rangers put up some crooked numbers tonight out there in the mountains.
All right,
so,
I'll throw one at you as the rest of the weekend will play out. Let's look at a little golf. The Wells Fargo champion. Would you take Schauffele or the field?
God, Xander, I'm not betting against that guy. He wins. He seems like he wins every tournament, but maybe he just saves it up for the big tournaments. I don't know. I'd have to take the field if we're talking like at coin flip price, but I don't want to go out betting on anyone else to win it. I can say that.
I can't imagine laying money anywhere else. Do you ever bet WNBA? I know.
You know what? I have.
It's going to be a point of conversation here in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, I have.
Season gets going.
One of my betting partners up there in Vegas is like, he thinks it's a very beatable game. Although I bet it's getting less beatable now because people are paying more attention to it. But now we're talking preseason WNBA. Yeah, I mean, you'd have to be a lunatic.
But Tuesday is season open.
Okay. Yeah. I'll also say this: Texas's own Derek Lewis fights in the UFC on tomorrow. They're in St. Louis. He's a minus 165 favorite. The guy he's fighting has never fought anyone even close to as good as Derek Lewis. Derek's 39 years old. He's no longer at his peak, but he's a problem for a guy. He's a problem for a guy. If you can't wrestle and you can't take a punch, you're fighting the wrong guy. And Rodrigo Nascimento, I don't think can wrestle, and I don't think he can take a punch. So I like Derek Lewis to get the job done. Texas's own. All right, we're going to be back on Monday. I don't care what anybody says.
We promise.
We'll be back on Monday doing more of this, and we'll be at we'll be out with the meats, baby. Tri-County Meat Market
out on Huebner. Huebner Road will host the party. It starts at 2:00. It'll go evening long. Make sure you bring your fun with you.
But we'll talk to you guys next week. It's been fun. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1, San Antonio's Sports Star.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville.
Ahead of the field and throws it down with the right hand.
Your home for the NBA.
Spring has sprung and it's full tilt boogie time at GiveMeTheVin.com. I'm a speculator. I'm overpaying for cars because I think they're going to go up even higher from where they are right now. We'll pay off your payoff. We'll pick your stuff up. We'll quote you quick and easy at GiveMeTheVin.com. America's best car buyer.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Hey, it's Rob Thompson here for my favorite game app. It is Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app. Heck, I'm just one of 3 million active users. They're the easiest to play.